feminism. That's my view. I think feminism is good. But then besides that, but yeah, keep on double tapping on that good stuff. Hey, what's up? How's it going, Kennedy? Hello? Ken? Oh, okay. Well, I can't really hear you. That's fine. Keep on double tapping on that screen, sharing it with your friends, doing all that good stuff, and with that, we'll go to the very next guest. Thank you so much, Steph. I appreciate that. How's it going, Mason? How old are you? Okay, I accept your surrender. Folded like a chair, scrambled
There he
like an
is.
omelet.
There he is.
Yeah, what's up?
What's up, man? How you doing?
Doing well, doing well. What's your strongest argument for the existence of God?
Um, yeah. Wait. So before I give you my argument, I think we should address the topic because you're saying God isn't real, so it seems like that's a positive claim.
Sure. So do you want me to make a positive argument for why God isn't real?
Yeah, and then
Yeah.
I guess I'll give you an argument why he is.
Yeah. So, if I'm going to give you an argument why he's not, like, presumably you're going to, like, answer the argument for why he's not. But sure. Are you familiar with Russell's paradox?
Nah, educate me.
Okay, so Russell's paradox is essentially that the set which contains all sets that do not contain themselves cannot exist. So I'll say that again. The set which contains all sets which do not contain themselves cannot exist. So some sets contain themselves, like the set of all sets would contain itself. Some sets don't contain themselves, like the set like 1, 2, 3 doesn't contain itself because it doesn't appear in its set. So if we think about it like this, so the set that does not contain itself cannot exist, just like paradoxically, right? So because if it did contain itself, then it would not be the set that contains all sets that do not contain itself. But if it doesn't contain itself, then it also wouldn't be the set that does not contain itself. So I would just ask you, if God knows everything, does God know of all sets which do not contain themselves?
Okay, so I have to ask you a couple of questions here for
Yeah.
clarification. I just want to make sure we're on the same page. So when you say a set that doesn't contain itself, you use the word contain. How are you using that word?
Yeah, so just like the
How
set
exactly
is a
does that
subset of itself. Some sets like contain themselves as a subset.
okay, and how exactly does this debunk God?
Yeah, because well, I'm just asking you if God knows everything. Does God know of all sets which do not contain themselves?
When you say does God know all sets that don't contain himself, like what
Yeah.
exactly? I need to. Yeah, you got to unpack that more. What exactly does that mean?
Yeah. So
Like when you
there's like. Do you know what a set is?
explain, you got to break it all the way down. Just
Yeah. So
explain.
a set is just
I don't know what you're talking about.
like a combination of elements. So we could have like a set that's like all the numbers, and it just has all the numbers. Or we could have like a set of the two people in this conversation, and it would be like the set of like me and you. It's just like going to be a collection of elements.
Okay.
So does
Okay.
God know every possible collection of elements?
Yeah, so that's the whole thing. So when you say every possibility, this is going to now you're denoting some sort of contingency or potentiality within God. I don't believe that there's any potentiality within God. So I don't believe there's any other possible world. I
It's
believe
not
that
about
this.
possible worlds. It's about like
Yeah, so I
does
don't believe there's any other sets though. Like that's the
so
thing. I
what
don't believe
does
there's any
God
other.
know like every mathematical truth?
Does God know every mathematical truth? Well, it depends on what you define as a mathematical truth.
Yeah, like 2 plus 2 equals 4. Does God know that?
Yeah.
Yeah, like the derivative of like sine x. Does God know that?
Yep.
Yeah, okay. So does God know every mathematical truth?
If that's how you're defining mathematical truth in that context, then yes.
Yeah, cool. So then presumably God would also know every set which does not contain themselves because set theory is just like a subset of mathematics.
Yeah, so again, that's you just said set theory. So I'm not conflating like, hard arithmetic like sine, cosine, tangents, addition, subtraction, multiplication, division. That's different than what you're describing as set theory. You already kind of explained to me what you meant when you said a set, and then you start talking about in terms of God's knowledge, what God actually knows. I said God only knows one set of actualizations because there is no other contingency or possibility within God. So again, that's why I'm rejecting your whole set theory notion. I'm just simply
So God does not know set theory?
Again, the way that you're defining it, okay, God does not have potentiality. So this is not.
It's not about potentiality. It's about abstract objects. Does God know abstract objects?
How are you defining abstract objects? You have to define
things that are not
terms.
concrete that exist in reality.
Okay, but that's so vague. I don't know what that means. When you say things that are not concrete, that doesn't exist in reality. God knows all things insofar as things that are knowable. Okay, so if you're giving, so when you talk about set theory,
God knows every knowable thing.
Exactly.
Okay, yeah. So the set 1, 2, 3. That's a set that exists. So does God know the set 1, 2, 3?
When you say set, can you use a different word besides set? Because
does God know the collection of things 1, 2, 3?
As they exist, like, okay, so again, like, are you saying, does he know the concept of the number 1, the number 2, the number 3?
Does he just know that they exist?
Like the physical. What do you mean by exist?
That's just like something that is like in reality.
Numbers are. Yeah. So the thing is, right, like you're invoking this like sort of, conceptual frame. There's different means by which something can exist. So when you just say existence, I don't know if you're talking about conceptual existence, physical existence, ontological existence, some sort of epistemological knowing of this thing's existence. When you just say existence, I don't actually know what you mean. That's
that's gonna depend entirely on what you think the ontological status of numbers is. So if you think that numbers are like fictional, if you think that they're like platonic, if you think that they're metaphysical, like no matter whatever you think numbers are, that's what I'm talking about.
But it's not whatever I think numbers are, because again, I reject your whole set theory. So the whole thing comes down to, right, because when we talk about, what numbers
you reject set theory, so you just reject logic.
That's not rejecting logic.
It is, because set theory operates under the paradigm of logic. It's exactly like arithmetic. It follows specific rules.
Sir, I don't care if it operates under the paradigm of logic. Set theory and logic are two distinct things. Logic is a metaphysical method of how we deduce truth. Set theory, I don't know what set theory is, and from what you're describing it to me, I reject it. Now, great thing, Ian. This is why I like talking to you, because now I can go back and I can study set theory. But from what you're explaining to me, I reject set theory. I reject that. From what you're explaining to me about in terms of numbers, ontology, from what you're explaining to me in terms of how this knowledge would somehow relate to God.
PhD and ADHD. Thank you so much for the duck. I appreciate that.
I reject that. So
I can give you like a couple of definitions and we'll see if you can get it. So set theory is the branch of mathematical logic that studies sets which can informally be described as collections of objects.
There is no collection
of objects of any kind can be collected into a set. Set theory as a branch of mathematics is mostly concerned with those that are relevant to the mathematical whole. Let's get a definition of set. So set is a collection of different things. These are called elements or members of the set and are typically mathematical objects of any kind. Numbers, symbols, points in space, lines, other geometrical shapes, variables, or even other sets.
So Ian, that's the whole thing. It wasn't like a lack of, intellect here, right? When you already explained it to me, I understood what you meant. What I just said was I reject the notion that God is somehow confined to these particular sets, because in reference to God, things are different and, in terms of our disposition toward these things and God's disposition toward these things. God actualized all these things. There's no potentiality within God. I keep saying there's no sets. God's knowledge is not compartmentalized in sets. God doesn't think about things.
Does God constrained by logic?
God is a constraint. When you say, okay, what do you mean by constraint?
Does God does every aspect of God follow the laws of logic?
Yeah, so insofar as we know, because we don't know everything about God, insofar as we know, right, insofar as we can deduce, yes, a God, is not necessarily confined by the laws of logic. That's not the syntax that we would use. We would just simply say that the laws of logic are, instantiations or reflections of his mind, in the sense that God is operating as he wills with the laws of logic, because the laws of logic are simply indicative of his essence. What makes God God?
That's I'm telling you that's not true, though, because God's mind can't possibly be logical and also omniscient. That's my entire point. Just that God can't possibly know the set of all sets which do not contain themselves. But he knows each individual element if he's omniscient. So he knows all of the elements, he knows all the objects, but he just can't imagine the objects together.
Okay, and again, right, with your whole set theory, when you say God can't do something, you have to show the contradiction. That's the first thing.
Yeah.
You cannot show the contradiction.
No, I'll show the contradiction.
One second. No, 1 second. No, listen,
Okay.
listen.
Well, you
The
just asserted that I can't show the contradiction, but I can show the contradiction. Do you want to see the contradiction?
When you say you can show, 1 second. So let me actually, explain.
Yeah.
When you show the quote unquote contradiction, you're not actually showing me a valid contradiction, because the contradiction that you're showing me is dependent upon the terms that you define. I simply reject that notion. I reject set theory and disposition to God. Therefore, now you have to have a new argument, because I reject the
so
theory.
does God know the set 1, 2, 3 has 3 elements?
I don't believe God. I don't believe
God
the
doesn't
sets. I
know
don't
that the
believe
set
God knows-
1,
I
2,
don't-
3 has
When you say
3
God
elements.
know-
Really?
when you say
God doesn't
knows
know.
Sets, God knows all true. God knows all justified true propositions. So now we have to talk about what is a justified true proposition. Okay. So listen, because this is what you always do, and you're so damn disingenuous.
Let's not be a meta commentary, Mary. Let's just engage with the argument. I'm not really interested in the meta debate. I don't really want to hear you whine about how the debate's going.
I'm not interested.
I just want to actually have the debate itself.
I'm not interested in your weak syntax. So I just said God knows all justified true propositions. Do you know what a justified true proposition is?
Yeah, although I would reject that definition of logic on the basis of Gettier cases.
I don't care why you would reject the definition of logic. I just asked you a question.
Wait, the definition of knowledge.
Do you? Okay, I don't care what you reject. I'm asking you a question. Do you know what a justified true proposition is?
Yeah, I think that's what you think knowledge is, but I'm telling you that's not what knowledge is.
I didn't, brother. Please don't affirm or gaslight me what you think I think something is. I just asked you a question. What is a justified true proposition?
What about it? Like, what are you? Are you looking for? Like
you what it is.
Are you looking for like a single word name?
I'm looking for you to give me a coherent definition of a justified true proposition.
That's 3 words. Which of those words do you want a definition of?
Brother, the whole entire phrase.
Oh, so could you give me the definition of like a coconut chair?
Oh my gosh, this is actually disgusting, bro. This actually shows that
so if you want definitions apply to like single words or phrases, are you looking for a word that is defined by justified true proposition?
You have done no philosophical inquiry. The fact that this is actually I'm going to clip this. The fact that you cannot answer me what a justified true proposition is.
You're being a meta commentary, Mary, a whining litany, if you will.
Sir. Can you tell me what a justified true proposition is?
What about it? What do you want to know about it?
Wow. So for the chat, this is exactly
Bro's doing meta commentary. Q-Top is incapable of engaging with the debate. So instead of actually debating, he just does meta commentary.
Hey, let me educate you.
Thank you so much for the duck. I appreciate that.
Let me educate you because your mother didn't. Your mother didn't, bro.
So we're getting personal now. Bro's being an ad hominem Adrian.
Let me educate you. Okay. Look. A justified true proposition does not account any experiential knowledge. So when we're simply just
Claudia, thank you. Appreciate that.
So when we're just simply talking about justified true
sets aren't experiential knowledge.
Okay, go ahead. I'm gonna just let you interrupt because you
aren't experiential knowledge.
You don't. Okay, go ahead.
You're saying things that are irrelevant. Sets aren't experiential knowledge any more than 2 + 2 = 4 is experiential knowledge.
Okay, are you done?
Yeah, go for it.
Okay, thank you. I just want to make sure that you're all the way done. Okay. When we talk about justified true propositions, number one, I'm going to say it again, justified true propositions do not account for experiential knowledge. Also,
not relevant.
Your presupposition of the metaphysics of numbers is that numbers must and have to be classified within these things that you call sets. I have simply, in this debate, rejected that notion. And you, right, because you already said set theory, you have not given me the necessary condition of why it is the case that metaphysics in terms of numbers must be classified in these things that you call sets. I reject that notion, and
Yeah, I can explain why. If that's
and
if
then
that's
I
a
try to
question.
explain to you what
So
a
wait,
justified true
you
proposition
keep
is.
on Q-top, and I agree. You can say you haven't done
Hey,
X, Y, Z
sir,
thing.
answer my
If
question
you
and stop
want me to, I
monologuing.
can explain all of this
Answer
to
my
you.
question and stop monologue. You don't even know what you're saying right now.
Wait,
is true, brother.
this
You're
is
an
like raw
atheist.
projection.
You don't even
Bro's
know.
being a
You don't
projecting
even know
Peter
what
right
you think or
now.
perceiving is
You
true.
just
So go
monologued
ahead.
for a really long time about
Brother,
absolutely
answer
nothing
my
relevant.
question. I did not monologue.
Bro's
Answer my
getting
question.
a mad
Answer my
Mary
question.
right
I
now. You're
reject
getting
set
really
theory.
upset. Calm down, Q-top.
Prove numbers are within sets. I reject set theory.
Yeah. So in the same way that like abstract objects exist just on the basis of like a power set of their properties, right? Yeehaw! Thanks so much for the hat and mustache, Dan Baba. In the same way that like shapes can exist just based on like a power set of all the possible probabilities or of all the possible properties rather.
I don't believe in probability. I already told you that.
I said
I'm
property, not
monologuing.
probability. So
I just told
because
you
we
I
have
don't
a
believe in
three
that.
set or we have a 3-side
Prove
shape
that
and we have a
exists. Prove
4-side shape and we have a 5-side shape and we have a 6-side shape and we have a 7-side shape and we have an 8-side shape and we have a 9-side shape and we have a side like shapes for an infinite number of sides. In the same way, these abstract objects exist just based on the possibility. These sets, we are capable of putting elements into sets. So, for example, we can construct the set of the numbers 1, 2, and 3, and this would be the set 1, 2, 3. Are you following?
I'm gonna let you continue monologuing because I've already rejected this, and you're not showing me how sets is necessary for the ontology or some sort of metaphysical notion of numbers.
Yes, because numbers themselves are a set. It's like the set of real numbers, the set of imaginary numbers.
I don't think you get how this works.
So is it a collection of elements? Cat, thank you so much for the galaxy. W Cat in the comment section.
You keep
That's
making
huge.
a claim. By the way, all my Christians, man, the Cash App isn't about, man. I appreciate
Oh my,
everybody.
wait,
So
are you
look,
going through
so look.
some financial hardships right now?
Yeah. So look, brother.
Yeah?
I can tell you're going through financial hardship by that shirt you're wearing. It looks like it's 5 years old. Also, bro.
I fucking love this shirt.
And
This shirt looks great.
Also, bro. Also, you can't even afford AirPods, bro. So your AirPods got.
Bro's
got
being
mine.
an ad homing
No,
Adrian.
bro, you're the one that's talking about
The reason
financial
I wear
hardship right now,
these is because they plug into the microphone.
So I'm
You can
looking
just
at
look
you and
right
I can
here.
deduce that you're going
You
through
can
some sort of
just look right
financial
here.
hardship, bro. Right? You have
Yeehaw,
you got
thanks so
your
much for the
4-year
hat and
degree.
mustache.
You got
I mean,
your
you're the
4-year
one.
degree in
You're the one who's
mathematics,
like,
and you're on TikTok. Live,
Tawetsky,
bro.
thank you so much for the $6.66 for
Yeah,
Satan
yeah,
Makes
so
You
look.
Rich. Yeehaw, thanks
So
for the hat
look,
and
so
mustache.
look,
W
so look.
Tawetsky, W666, W
So are you
Satan
actually
Hill
going to
Satan.
engage? Are you actually
Wait,
gonna
you're
engage?
the
Are you
one who
gonna
just
keep
called me a whole
shouting
bunch
out
of names.
Are you going to
Q-Top.
keep shouting out your
Thanks so much
no-brain
for the hat and
fans sending
mustache.
you money just to
This
support
is literally
your
what you
rejection
do.
and denial of God because you don't want to
Q-Top,
repent
let's
of your
calm
sins?
down.
You don't.
You're being a
are you gonna
steamrolling Sam
keep,
right now. Let's
Are you
calm
going to
down.
keep panhandling?
I'm trying to make you into a
Are you
good
going to
faith
keep
Gary, but you're
panhandling
being a steamrolling Steve right now.
to your no-brain liberal friends who keep sending you money? You gonna keep panhandling to them?
I think I would reject the presupposition that they're brainless.
No, they're brainless just like you. So you can't even ground rationale.
Bro's being an ad homing Adrian.
Hey, but bro,
and
let's
you're pivoting
continue.
to
Let's
tag.
continue our conversation.
Dominic, thank you so much for the $5 for please do not platform Q-Top. He is a pedo. That's a really good point, Dominic.
Yeah. So and here he goes running away. Here he goes.
Wait, I'm not running away from anything.
Here he goes running away.
Duck, thank you. Or PhD in ADHD.
Okay, then don't run away.
I'm not running away. Then.
So
thanks so much for that mustache.
Answer the question of why I must necessarily accept the notion that numbers and metaphysical abstract objects must be placed in these things called sets. Explain to me why I must necessarily accept that. Okay,
yes, because numbers themselves are a collection of objects. A collection of objects is by definition a set, which means that if you believe
I don't believe numbers are a collection of objects.
Wait, you don't think that? So you don't think that? Do you think that numbers is one an abstract object?
I don't believe that numbers. I don't believe that.
Is one an abstract object?
Look, hey, Ian, I don't think you understand how this actually works, man.
Rhoda, thank you so much for the $6.66 for Q-Top as a fraud. W Rhoda, W666.
Hey, thank you so much, Joshua, for the $50 over Cash App.
It's literally what you do.
Wow, thank you so much.
I'm just thanking the people who gift me. Let's calm down.
Wow,
I mean, that's cool.
Thank you so much, guys. My Cash App is just Q-Top7. We are standing up for the gospel right now. Thank you guys so much, man, for the $50
do you think God would be proud? You have like the might of God on your side and you can't even understand set theory.
Thank you so much for the Cash Apps, guys. Thank you guys so much for the Cash Apps.
I bet God would understand set theory if he existed.
So again, can you please explain to me, because you just said that these abstract objects are necessarily dependent upon physical objects, correct?
No, not at all.
Okay, so so I just want to understand then, why must I accept set theory?
Yes, yeah. So do you think that one is an abstract object?
Define abstract object.
Yeah, let's pull up like a definition for it then.
Okay, so sorry, you don't have to pull up if you use a word.
Well, wait,
you should be
you're
able to-
asking me.
Hey, sir, Ian. If you use a word, you should be able to articulate why exactly or how you are referencing that word. You should.
So an abstract object is a non-physical, non-mental object that exists outside of space and time and is wholly unextended.
Non-mental. I don't believe it's non-mental.
Okay, so we could just do like non-physical object that exists outside of space and time.
Exists outside of space and time. Okay.
Yeah. So, Liz, thank you so much for the $6.66 on Cash App. W Liz in the comment section.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you would agree that one is an abstract object, correct?
If you're defining an abstract object, it's just a non-physical object that exists outside of space and time. Yes.
Yeah. So, and then similarly, all numbers are also abstract objects. Do you agree with that?
Correct.
Yeah. So if numbers are just a bunch of abstract objects, then numbers together are a collection of abstract objects. A collection of abstract objects is a collection of objects.
Okay,
do you
1
agree?
second.
Wait. Can I just get an agree or disagree with that?
I do not agree. I do not agree.
Yeah.
I do
So
not agree.
which part did I lose you on?
I do not agree. I do not agree.
Yeah.
You just said all numbers are abstract objects. Check. Then you said all numbers, because they're abstract objects, would make a set, a collection of objects. I don't agree with that.
I never used the word set. I just said that numbers together. So if each number is an abstract object, then all of the numbers are a collection of abstract objects. Do you agree or disagree?
All of the numbers are a collection of. Okay, so how are you defining? Why are you saying all the numbers are a collection? What do you mean by a collection?
Because we're just like building it. Do you want a definition of collection?
Sir, I don't want, bro. Oh my gosh, you know how linguistics work when you use a word.
So collection.
Sir, Ian, hey.
Collection is a group of things.
When you use a word, you need to explain to me how you're referencing the word in that comment. If you cannot define your terms, if you cannot literally define words,
I just want to make sure the definition is accurate and clear.
Hey, sir,
you're being
you're
getting really upset right now. Let's calm down. Was it because I called you a meta commentary?
This is exactly why Darth Dawkins.
I didn't realize that upset you. I cannot call you that anymore.
You literally just used a word, and then you have to go to
Q-Top. Let's chill out.
To define a word that you just used.
Well, yeah. I would like to have precise definitions. I don't like to just say
brother. We can have precise definitions. Just give me the way you're referring to the word.
Yep. So when I say collection, I'm referring to a group of things.
A group of things. Okay, perfect. What is a group? What does it mean for something to be?
Do you think that this is a good look for you, playing like the infinite?
Why must we group it? Why must we group numbers? That's my
because numbers are numbers. Oh wait, Q-Top ran. That's crazy. Bro couldn't compete, so he just asked me for like 18 different dictionary definitions, and then he ran. That's so whack. Well. Make sure you're double tapping on that screen, sharing it with your friends, doing all that good stuff. Let's get all the way up to, call it like 60K likes. Share it with your friends, drop a follow as well if you're enjoying the debate so far. Yeah, he's a runner, he's a track star. Sorry if I missed anybody's like donos. Oh, is that Ryan Beard? Hey, thanks so much for the finger heart, Steven. I appreciate that. And thanks so much for the ice cream, Matt.
Hey, what's up? How's it going?
Doing well. What's up? How you doing?
I'm pretty good. Q-Top's pretty funny. I'm planning to make like a commentary video about him.
Yeah. There's like a lot of good like expose material, I think.
Yeah, I thankfully I saved his videos that he posted like a year ago about why the age of consent doesn't matter because of the Bible.
Yeah. No, that shit was like wacky. I think it's I don't know. I just think it's like a really sad state where like Q-Top is like one of the biggest Christian live streamers, despite the fact that he's like openly defended pedophilia.
Yeah, it's pretty bad. And then he just gets mad if you mention that. I did a debate with him about a week ago, and I got him to admit that he thinks it's okay to like beat your children if they don't want to be Christians. So that was pretty cool.
That's crazy. Did you record that at least?
No, I wasn't able to get a recording of it, but yeah, he was like, yeah, you should physically discipline your children, and if they don't want to follow, if they don't want to go to church, then that's totally justified.
Yeah. Oh, I mean that's like obviously like super crazy, but if you want, I know a lot of people who know like a lot of things about Q-Top. If you want me to put you in contact.
I know he like took money from Parker or something.
Yeah. Oh, that's like that just scratches the surface of it. There's like so much crazy Q-Top lore if you're interested.
Yeah. No. Send me whatever.
Do you know? Oh, this is like a funny story for all the people in chat. Do you know Danny Philtalk?
No, I don't.
Well, Danny's like he's like a philosophy professor, and he debated Q-Top. They have like a an adversarial relationship, but one time Q-Top had like premarital sex, and he felt so ashamed by it that he like texted Danny and like begged Danny, like, please Danny, turn me into an atheist. I don't want to be like afraid of God anymore. Because he was like so ashamed of having premarital sex.
That's just sad.
Yeah, I think so too.
And Q-Top also in the debate with me said he doesn't believe that gravity exists. That was another interesting. He's like, I'm like, yeah, like the theory of gravity is technically just a theory. He's like, well, yeah, I don't think gravity exists. I'm like, what are you talking about?
What are we doing? Like,
he also thinks the Earth is flat. He's just, very interesting.
Yeah, well, I mean, he rejected like evolution when I debated him on like just like nonsense grounds, something about like Neanderthals, that like Neanderthals were humans, something like that. I don't know. But it's just nonsense.
The evolution thing is pretty standard with Christians, but not all Christians are flat earthers who think it's okay to beat your kids if they don't want to be Christians. Like, it's pretty crazy. Yeah,
definitely. But I can DM you and maybe like DM some other people who would have like some really interesting information on Q-Top.
Yeah, sounds good.
If that's what you're interested in.
Yeah, definitely. Send me whatever you got. And I don't want to keep you from your debates, but I just thought I'd hop in and tell you about the crazy Q-Top shit that I talked about.
Can't wait to see the video. Yeah. All right. Yeah, appreciate you coming on up here.
All right, see ya.
All right, bye-bye. Yeah, keep on double tapping on that screen. Let's get all the way up to 60K likes. And with that, we can go to the very next guest. If you're in that guest request box, make sure you're 18 or older. Make sure you think that God is real. If not, I'm not going to talk to you. Drop a follow if you're enjoying the debates. Never want to miss a debate in the future. If you want to join the community and play bingo, if you're 18 or older, there's a link to the Discord in my bio. Do you have headphones?
Hello?
You're not 18-year-old. Also, the echo is atrocious. Only join the Discord if you're 18 or older, but it's a great place to meet friends, meet new people. Copy it and paste it directly into the Discord app. The link itself does not work. But yeah, it's just like a great little community. I love it there. As I try to find some new people to get on up here. Hello? How's it going, Omar?
Hi.
How old are you?
I'm 18. I was born on July 20, 2006.
So what's your strongest argument for the existence of God that does not involve personal experience?
I say that God is real because I have read the Bible. It says that the Bible, it shows like the things that Jesus has done for us, like he's died for us on the cross, and I believe that because there's a lot of evidence, scientific evidence that he is real, and that's why I believe in God, that he is real.
Yeah, so I mean, this is going to be like a pet issue, but science doesn't tell you about whether like certain historical figures actually existed. That seems to be like the work of historians. Robert, thank you so much for the $2 on Cash App for great content. W Robert in the comment section. But regardless, what's your evidence that the Bible itself is true? Omar, are you there? Thompson, thank you so. Or oh wait,
Yeah.
doxed. I'm not going to read the first name because otherwise that's like doxing. But I read the last name. My bad. But thank you so much to the person who just sent me $25. I appreciate the absolute heck out of that. Thank you so much. And I'm sorry for reading out your last name.
Anyways, so I
wait. Did you say it's your birthday today?
Huh?
Is it
Yeah,
your
yeah,
birthday?
yeah. It's my birthday.
Hey, let's get a happy birthday, Omar, in the comment section. Happy birthday to you.
Yeah.
Happy birthday to you.
Yeah, so I
Happy
believe the Bible
birthday,
because the Bible
dear
it makes a lot of sense.
Omar.
Everything in the
Happy
Bible makes sense.
birthday
That's why I
to
believe in the
you.
Bible.
Okay, yeah. So what's your like evidence that the Bible is true?
Well, there isn't a lot of evidence that I can say, but like, I mean, like you said, I can't say like personal things, but
Yeah, yeah. Okay, so I'll give you reasons why
like
the Bible isn't
everything
true.
makes sense. Everything in the Bible that I said makes sense.
No, it like super doesn't. Let's talk about the flood. I think the flood is like the least sensical part of the entire Bible. So the Bible says that there was a flood that wiped out all the life on earth, but this makes absolutely no sense. I guess my question for you would probably be, if the flood wiped out all life on earth, how did the kangaroos get back to Australia? Omar, if you're off the app, I can't hear you, by the way. You need to come back to the TikTok app.
All the kangaroos.
How did the
they go back to
kangaroos get back to
Australia?
Australia?
Well, God created them.
Oh, so after the flood, God just made new kangaroos?
Yeah, he can. He's
So
God.
what was the point of the ark then? If God just like replaced everything with, if God just said like abracadabra and then made new kangaroos, why did Moses have to gather up all the animals?
Because God commanded him to.
So it was just
all the
like,
animals.
it wasn't actually to save the animals' lives. It was just like a test of faith.
Yes, exactly.
Oh, well, that just seems like nonsense to me. I mean, it seems like the much more accurate reason for why he would ask for like two of each is for like the purposes of repopulating the planet. That would make like intuitive sense to me. So he just asked Moses to bring one male and one female of each animal as like a show of faith, but not for the purposes of reproduction.
Yes.
Okay. Well, that just seems like deeply implausible to me. That doesn't like you said that every part of the Bible makes sense. That makes no sense whatsoever.
Okay, yeah, for some people it doesn't make sense, but for others it does. That's
Okay.
why I believe in him. That's why there's some
so-
atheists and there's some Christians that believe in his word.
Oh, sorry, not Moses. That's my bad. I keep on, Noah. I keep on saying Moses. That's like, I'm fucking up. Noah. I get all the names confused.
Yeah,
So-
like all the bad words you say, like God gives us all free will. He loves us so much because his love is perfect, and that's why he gives us all free will.
Yeah, but let's not be a
He lets
pivoting
us
Perry.
repent
I
for
still have
our
more
sins.
issues with the ark.
Okay.
So, where did the trees come from after the ark? Because if you had like a global flood, all the trees would die.
Okay, well, it doesn't, and the Bible it doesn't talk about the trees. I wasn't there back then. I wasn't alive. I don't know what to tell you there.
Okay, yeah. I mean, that just seems like a deeply implausible, rather, it seems like you just have no answer. Like, logically, if all the trees got covered in water, covered in tons and tons of water, enough water that's like higher than Mount Everest, that would seem to indicate pretty strongly that all the trees are dead. So it kind of begs the question, where did all the trees come from if all the trees got killed?
All right. I don't know what to tell you anymore.
Okay. Well, do you have,
I just say in one text it says in the Bible it says in Psalm that the fools don't believe in Christ, but he's the only way. He's the truth and the life.
okay, yeah. So, I mean, you're the one who's
That's
not
why he
able to
gives us
answer
all
any
free will.
arguments, but you're turning into an ad homing Adrian. You're like, well, you're the fool. You're the one who literally can't explain the flood to me. I'm just asking some basic questions.
Okay. I wasn't there back then, but
Okay. Well, I mean, you weren't back there for Jesus's existence, but somehow you believe in that.
well, it says on the Bible about Jesus' existence, like he's the Son of God.
Yeah, it also says in the Bible that outer space is water, so maybe we don't believe everything that the Bible says.
Okay. I don't know what to tell you.
All right. Well, I appreciate you coming on up here.
Okay, thank you.
Keep on double tapping on that screen. Let's get this all the way up to, let's call it like 80K. Share it with your friends. Drop a comment. If you want to support the stream, Venmo's allegedly-Ian. Cash App is just allegedly Ian. I appreciate any and all support. Thank you all so much. Make sure you're dropping a follow
What's
if you
up?
never want to miss debates in the future. How's it going, Seth? How you
Hey.
doing?
I'm good. How are you?
Doing well. How old are you?
I'm 22.
Okay. What's your strongest argument for the existence of God that does not involve personal experience?
Just creation and life in itself.
Yeah, so like what part of that would indicate that God is real?
The fact that everybody here is created in their own image and that they're alive here today and that people have lived in the past.
Yeah, so you just think like the fact that people exist means that like God is real. I'm just not sure what the connection there is, because I would say that people come about via a process of evolution that operates under laws of physics and entropy, whereas you think that life came about by God saying like abracadabra, alakazam, and then like life appeared.
So because life is existent, there had to be a cause, right?
Sure, yeah.
So you know that cause, like do you believe in like the Big Bang, right?
So for life specifically, I believe in like abiogenesis. So that's the belief that through a complex series of chemical reactions, we went from these like non-living molecules to these like now living molecules, just by molecules gaining the ability to self-replicate and also gaining the ability to have a metabolism that they can like convert energy towards their own purposes.
So you think it just happened to form in itself just for like by chance, like out of the trillions of like if you had there was nothing, right? And then all of a sudden just something happened, and then now
No, there was something. There were like molecules that got like increasingly more complex. PhD and ADHD. Thanks so much for the duck. I love ducks. Ducks are a great animal.
Molecules from what? What are these molecules? Where do they come
Well,
from?
they're just it's just like atoms, right? It's like these molecules exist, and I just say that they always
How did
existed.
they exist though? Like how?
I think that the universe has always existed. I think like matter has always existed.
So what you actually mean is that there was an uncausable cause, right? We are caused by something. But
No, I think that there's like an infinite chain of causes. I just think the universe is eternal.
well, there was nothing, right? And
No,
then there was
never nothing. Is my argument.
right, and that never nothing was God.
No, because I'm saying that there was like something before every single point in time, whereas this distinctly isn't God, because one, it's not a mind, two, it's not all good, three, it's not all powerful, four, it's not all knowing, and five, it's not a first cause. There is no first cause. It's just an infinite chain.
There is though, and I think
the conclusion. Your conclusion. Why didn't I just think about your conclusion?
You have to have intent, and to have intent, you have to have an intelligent mind.
To have a cause, you need to have intent.
Yes.
So when it rains, do you think like the clouds intended to rain?
Because the universe was created.
Yeah, I know that's your
Don't get
conclusion. I'm
sidetracked.
looking for the argument.
So the argument is that God is the ultimate cause. Like, he is
So you're saying
he is the
God
uncausable-
exists.
He is the uncausable cause. He has always existed.
So God exists because he's the ultimate cause, which of course presupposes that God exists. Is that like essentially your argument?
So this is really I'm giving you grace because it's
But I just want to know, like, is that your argument?
It's hard to comprehend because we are human.
Matthias, thank you so much for the 0.0000666 Bitcoin. Thank you. I appreciate that, Matthias. W Matthias in the comment section and W666.
You know, I mean, unless you can prove to me that like the molecules that exist in the dirt you can recreate, then I mean, I don't know. It's just something that.
Wait, so could you demonstrate to me like the recreation of God saying like abracadabra and then there's life?
No, because it's something that we as humans can't comprehend.
Gotcha. So you want like a double standard wherein I like demonstrate my method in a lab, but you're under no obligation to demonstrate your method in a lab.
I'm not saying I'm God. Like we can't do what God already has done. It's just a fact. And that's what makes us human. I'm not saying like, I'm not belittling you because you can't comprehend that at all. I'm saying we as humans, it's just in our nature that we can't comprehend it. Here on Earth, we can't physically wrap our minds around that.
What material do you think God made us out of?
So God made man from dirt.
Yeah, and what did he make the dirt out of?
He made earth.
Yeah, and what did he make the earth out of?
So when I say God caused everything, he created everything.
From what?
from his own mind, like from his own, like
Is God's mind made of atoms?
when God said, "Let there be light," there was light.
Is God's mind made of atoms?
The one God, it's not. I mean, there's the Father and the Son.
That's a yes or no. Wait, you're short circuiting right now. I didn't ask about the Trinity. I'm asking if God's mind is made of atoms, because you said that God made the earth via the substance of his own mind. The earth is made of atoms, which would imply that God's mind is made of atoms. So I'm just asking you, is God's mind made of atoms?
Not at all. If you are the ultimate creator, you can create anything through nothing.
Gotcha. So God created something out of nothing.
Again,
This is going to be a violation.
It goes back.
This is a violation of the principle of material
fact that
cause.
God made something out of nothing.
Yeah.
It just goes back to that, and that's okay.
Yeah. So it's. I mean, this is just like a violation of the principle of material cause, right? That everything that is made of things. So you can't make something out of nothing. It's just out of line with literally all of the observable
You
data.
can't make
That
something out of nothing.
everything that is made, or everything that exists in the
God
world,
can't.
is made out of other things, and these things themselves
Again,
have the
it
potential
goes
to
back
create.
to
Whereas
your
God created
belief that
something out of
nothing can
nothing,
go-
but nothing doesn't have potential, so that doesn't make sense.
You're confusing it because humans can't make nothing. Humans can't make something from nothing. It just goes.
Well,
back
it's just
to
that
what
nothing
you can do
comes.
as a human,
Something that never comes from nothing.
unless you're God. Exactly, Craig.
Okay. Oh, of course, your conclusion. It's just out of line with like literally all of observed reality.
The fact that you are standing here today and you are living and breathing is a blessing from God.
I don't think God is real, so I don't really care.
So, do you believe that the Mona Lisa is real?
Yeah.
Okay. Did you see who painted the Mona Lisa?
I mean, I wasn't alive, but it was like Da Vinci.
Well, how do you know that it was even painted if you didn't see who created it?
Oh, because of the written record of that from a wide
Right.
variety of different
That's
sources.
called the Bible. That's called the Bible. People saw.
The
it
Bible. Yeah. So the Bible
saw
recorded
from
who
their
painted the Mona Lisa. Brilliant. Do you have like real arguments, or is it just like this word
I'm using it
salad?
as an example because, like, obviously you can't comprehend that God created you, and there's always been like an intent with like your life has a meaning, believe it or not.
Oh yeah, so I actually think that life is a lot more meaningful under an atheist worldview than under a Christian worldview. But I do want to point out that this is just like a complete pivot away from the problem of creation ex nihilo. You essentially had no argument, and now you're just like pivoting to like gibberating about
Not at all.
nothing basically. So but let's run this line down. So I think that life has a lot more meaning when you're capable of assigning meaning yourself. That we're born in an inherently meaningless world, but you're more than capable of creating your own meaning just by figuring out what you like and dislike. But under your worldview, if all you live to do is to just serve God and follow these rules that were created 2,000 years ago, I think that's actually a pretty meaningless life. I think that you're in your ideal state, you're like some automaton, whereas in my ideal state, you're somebody who's like pursuing your passions and doing things that you genuinely like. I think your worldview is a lot more devoid of meaning than my worldview is.
You do really?
Yeah, absolutely. Make an argument.
No, wait. So you say that? So you
Wait,
say,
could you summarize the point that I just made?
well, no. I couldn't. You were kind of speaking like in riddles. I didn't really like understand half of
Okay.
what you said. All I know. is
Yeah. So I just want to make sure that we understand. So I'll say it again, but I'll like.
Okay.
Okay. So your worldview has no meaning or very little meaning because in your ideal state, you would just be an automaton who is serving God. In my worldview, we have tons of meaning because we are born into a meaningless world, but we can create our own meaning by realizing what we're passionate about, what we enjoy doing, and then pursuing those passions and actually maximizing our own preferences, and discovering like happy lives through the connections we share with other people. So my worldview has a lot of meaning where you're actually an individual. Your worldview has no meaning where you're just like an automaton that serves God.
So you think, well, how can I? Okay, so you're thinking that I just serve something that doesn't exist and that it's meaningless.
Oh, like super. But even if God did exist, that would still be meaningless.
Well, why do you think it's meaningless?
Yeah, because you're just like following the rules that somebody else laid out for you instead of like creating your own meaning. Bear,
God
thank you
gives us-
so much for the
God-
money
God
gun.
gives us
W
free
Bear,
will.
I appreciate the heck out of that.
You live your life the way you live it, and that's why God gave us free will. Like, you have the choice. If God didn't give us free will, then I don't think any of us would be here, because whenever I think you mentioned like Noah earlier, God wiped out all of living life except for what was on the ark, I guess you could say.
You're being a bit of a pivoting Perry right now. So first we were talking about creation ex nihilo. You had no argument for that.
I already made my point.
Then you pivoted to, well,
Creation
you
is
need
here
God to have meaning, and
God
now
made
you
it.
are pivoting once more to you pivoted to free will, and then before even like contemplating a response, you then pivoted again to Noah's Ark. Like, just pick one argument and stick to it.
That's what a conversation. That's why a conversation is conversation.
He leaves. I appreciate that, but you're just like going all over the place. I just want to stick on one point.
I made my point in the first place, but you kept asking me different questions and stuff. So that's what brought us here.
Well, I asked you one question about like the same topic, right?
So you think so? Basically, you're back to your original question. Is you think that I serve a meaningless God and a meaningless life, right?
Well, yeah, just that like in your ideal
your-
world, you're just an automaton who
life,
does what God
and
tells
your
you
life
to.
and what you live for and what you kind of like strive for is for yourself, and you have to you pave your own reality and stuff like that, and everything is because you make it the way it is, right?
Well, in my worldview, yeah,
God
like
choice,
you have the opportunity to make whatever you want out of your life, whereas in your worldview, you have the opportunity to serve God or be
ask you
tortured
this,
forever. Like my worldview is
quick.
so much more filled with like deep, rich meaning than yours is.
Okay, so when you die, what happens?
Nobody knows.
I mean, when I die, what do you think happens?
Nobody knows.
Have you read the Bible?
Yeah, but I don't think God is real. So the same thing that happens to you is going to happen to me when we die.
So if you don't think God is real,
Nobody
why would you
knows.
even bother to read the Bible?
Well, I've read large parts of the Bible.
Well, have you read the part about death in itself?
Yeah, I know what the Bible thinks happens, but unfortunately, nobody knows what actually happens when we're no
things?
longer
Like,
alive.
have you read Revelation at all?
Yeah, I've read like large parts of it. I especially like the parts where the prophecies don't come true. It's like a side issue.
So, so in Revelation, it talks all about life after death, right? About what happens to our physical self.
Yeah, I'm aware of the Christian view of what happens after death.
So you don't believe that there is an afterlife.
I don't know. I have no idea. Nobody knows.
Well, I mean, if you don't know, then you might as well just not believe it, right?
Oh, I'm agnostic as to what happens when we're no longer alive. I have no idea. Nobody knows.
Well, I can tell you my side. I believe that there is...
I already know what your side is.
Okay, I didn't even say it, so how do you know?
Well, yeah, so you think that people either go to heaven or hell, or some like complex story about how everyone's waiting for the returning of Christ, and then finally people will go to heaven or hell.
No, I could have said I believe in recreation. I could have believed that I could be reincarnated as like a dog, but I love that you assumed that.
Yeah. So let's hear it. What's your what does happen? Let's see if it's exactly what I said.
Right. So I believe that our physical selves they're not reborn. They stay in the ground. You know, you're buried, you're cremated, put to ashes, whatever. Like that is our last physical form. Like there is nothing to our physical form that ever happens after that, right?
Yeah, I'm familiar with the concept of like the end of physical being. Yes.
So
Continue.
we have a soul, and that soul is what lives on or doesn't. Mm-hmm. So those who choose to believe in Christ, in John 3:16, it's the literal, like, if you don't know the Bible, just read John 3:16, please. For it says, for God so loved the world, why he created it, that he gave his only son, right? And some people would believe, oh, well, if he loved his son so much, why would he send them to die, blah, 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 blah. We wouldn't have any kind of...
Just get to the afterlife part.
I'm getting to that.
Yeah. I don't really
wouldn't
care
have-
about you like defeating like answering the objections that somebody might raise. Like I'm not raising these objections.
Okay, so fine. So God gave his only son to be sent down and show his physical self and teach his ways to us humans so that we had a knowledge of God. And these people saw, and they wrote it down, and they passed on those teachings to their younger generations, right? So those who believe in him will not perish. What I mean by perish is they won't just be a thing in the ground.
So they go to heaven.
Essentially, yeah.
Yeah, so when I gave you the
goal.
description of what Christians believe happens in the afterlife, you could have just said, yes, that's accurate.
Well, I would have said that, but you interrupted me. So,
So instead you like took like this 5-minute detour.
I mean, isn't this whole thing about, explaining? And
No, well, I already know it's about debating. It's about defending your positions.
I mean,
I don't want to hear your conclusions. I want to hear your defense of those conclusions.
Well, how can I give you a defense if you won't even let me explain?
Well, yeah, because I'm familiar with the concept of heaven and hell as indicated by the fact that I accurately summed up what you believe in before you had to tell me, which means that you can just like, we have a shared understanding and then you can just give the argument. That's fine. I guess I can make an argument if you want. So if God's all good, all powerful, and all knowing, why do we have morally unjustifiable evils in the world?
Well, it's not, God created the world perfect. He gave us free will. This is my point I was trying to make last time. There is evil in this world because we decided that it would be evil. And when God saw that what he created was good, it was good. When Satan came into the world, God allowed that. He allowed that. But Satan, it's not about like, oh, God knew that this was going to happen. But even if he did, which he did, he gave us the opportunity to make a right or wrong choice. Okay. And through that, I mean, he didn't just make us as NPCs. I mean, I'm not saying like you can roam the earth and just be kind of like unconscious and live like a program. Like that's how he expresses his love, is that we can literally live life freely and talk about things and have our own opinions and do whatever. Like he gave us this free will.
Yeah, that's nice. I have the capacity to do specific. Wait. You already gave the answer. So I have the capacity. The reason why this answer fails is going to be twofold. Or I'll actually just give one argument. I don't want to, be a yapping Yancey. I have the power to do certain evils, but I don't have the power to do other evils. So for example, I have the power to like swing my arms around and like hit somebody. But I don't have the power to like blow somebody up with my mind. There's certain evils that God could have, with just a slight design difference, God could have easily made such that we couldn't do these, because obviously he's putting some restrictions on the evils that we can do. Again, I can't blow somebody up with my mind. But I'm capable of, like our bodies are anatomically capable of doing like certain evils like grape, which could easily be prevented with specific design features that exist in like other animals, or at least like some of the harshest consequences of those evil actions could be avoided. Like ducks have a mechanism to, like female ducks have a mechanism to like eject like unwanted male sperm that results from like grape. I don't know why God couldn't have just given that to humans as well. In my mind, this seems to be much more in line with the belief that these things came via evolution rather than that these things came via an intelligent designer who some reason gave us the ability to do some evils but not others.
So you think that because there's evil in the world, you think that, what's your point? There's evil in the
Yeah,
world.
so God gave us the ability to do some evils but not others. So he could have made it like anatomically impossible for us to like grape each other, but he didn't make that anatomically impossible.
So evil came from Satan. Like and his
What do you think my
followers.
point is?
So your point, what I'm trying to get from your point is that people do evil things, and there are some people who don't have the ability.
What do you think my point is? And how do you think that responds to it?
Your point being that there's evil in the world?
No. No, just that there's like, because I accept that there can be some evils in the world. It seems like you weren't listening. There can be some clear evils in the world, right? So the evil of fear enables the good of courage. That there's like certain goods that can only be gotten via specific evils. That we can only overcome adversity if first there is adversity. So that justifies the existence of like specific evils, certainly. So I don't think that the world should be free of evil if God were all good. What I do think, if God were all good, is that he would make it such that we were less capable of doing specific evils. There's no reason why we should be anatomically capable of graping each other insofar as he's restricting our abilities anatomically to do other things. Like I can't blow people up with my mind.
Okay, I don't really understand what you're trying to say. You're basically saying like you're kind of disregarding the fact that every sin and every evil activity is different. Like,
So why don't I have the ability to blow people up with my mind?
that's like, okay, so how your font says God isn't real, request if you
Yeah.
want to disagree. So now we're talking about ducks and different evils in the world.
I can see that there's seems to just be a tracking failure here, so I'll break this down for you. So I gave you an argument for why God doesn't exist, specifically the Epicurean paradox. If God is all good, all powerful, all knowing, he would not allow for morally unjustifiable evils to be in the world. You gave the free will defense. You said that like Adam and Eve had free will to choose this thing via like being tempted. I said that the free will defense makes absolutely no sense because God gives us the capacity to do certain evils, but not others. Which means that it's unclear why he would give us the free will to like grape each other, but wouldn't give us the free will to blow people up with our minds, which to me seems to be strong evidence that the Bible is not true, but rather that like this makes sense under like an evolutionary paradigm, but it does not make sense under like a biblical paradigm.
Okay, so I'm gonna leave you with this. All right. So,
Wait, are we running away already? Did you not understand that explanation
I can stay here
already?
as long as you want. You're gonna have to. I mean, I'd love to talk to you about this forever.
Let's not be a pivoting parry. Let's just answer the argument, okay?
No, I'm not running away. Is what I'm saying. So unless you kick me out, I'm not like I can talk about this for. However
Thanks so
long.
much for the cap. I appreciate that.
So, if I were to leave you with anything, okay, it's the fact that we as people are not perfect. You know, God made us in his image. We are sinful. It's in our nature, but we can repent. And it's up to you to make that decision. You know, God will make a new world. And this world is not perfect. It was never meant to be perfect. God has his chosen few. And those who actually do what I guess is meaningless in your eyes will be forwarded to a better and perfect world, which is the world and the world on heaven.
Yeah. So could you it seems like you were just not listening again. So let's do a quick like basic like were you listening check.
I'm just
What
saying.
what
yes,
question did
yes,
I ask
yeah,
you?
Yeah, grape is real. And
Wait.
things-
What
we can do
wait.
things
Wait, Seth. What
actually-
question did I ask you?
You didn't really ask me a question.
I did ask you a question. The question was, why did God give me the ability, or why did God not give me the ability to blow other people up with my mind?
Okay, because that's. I mean, actually, I don't know. I feel like on a deeper level, he didn't specifically choose you because I don't know. I couldn't answer that.
Why didn't he give anybody the ability to blow other people up with their minds?
It depends on what you mean by blowing people up. Yeah.
Do you not understand the concept of somebody being blown up?
Yeah, I do.
So, yeah. So why aren't we able to blow each other up with our
Up with
minds?
the concept of terrorism, and you can make it happen by.
Yeah, but I'm asking like with our like mental. That's like a physical reaction. I'm asking about like a mental capacity. Why didn't God give me like just like the mental capacity to like focus really hard on someone and make them go like pop?
Maybe because he's intelligent, and that wouldn't be smart to let you do that.
Yeah, and I would say that it's not smart to let people grape other people.
Okay, well, do you have that ability? Do you just go around and do that all the time?
No, I certainly don't, but other people do. So clearly they have the capacity to.
Right. So
Yeah, why would God give humans the capacity to do one evil but not a different evil?
no, evil. Okay, you're like, okay, you're saying, do you believe in superheroes? Like,
Well, no, I'm just asking, like, why? So, if God designed us, He could have designed us in any way. He could have designed us to
yeah,
go like,
he could have
and
designed.
then blow somebody up with our mind, but He didn't.
designed me
So He could. He clearly restricts the amount of evils that we're capable of doing. So why doesn't He restrict like another gratuitous one, like grape?
Your question is unrealistic.
What about it is unrealistic?
The fact that certain things that God could allow us to do could even be possible. I mean, yeah, if He chose to, He could give me the ability to send people to obliterate, and but I obviously we live in a world that has its limits, and we as people have our capabilities and what we can do and what we can't. It's just
Yeah, so why did God choose those specific limits? Like, God could have easily made it so that grape is impossible. If He made it such that people's like parts are only able to function for those activities if there's like a hormone release or like a pheromone release by the other
Let me just
person
say,
involved, which guarantees
I
that
love
all these
your line of
interactions
questioning.
will like always be consensual.
I
Why
love
wouldn't
your line
God
of
do that?
questioning, because I mean you're referring to God as if He exists, and I love that. I
Well,
love
it's
that
an
you
internal
accept
critique, right? And I know you're like desperate to get like literally anything. So I'll explain this to you. I'm presupposing your
you're up
worldview for the
here
sake of reductio.
who
So
has
we assume that
He's
your
literally
worldview is correct, and then we find
blaspheming God's
contradictions
name by
within
saying
it.
God isn't real. You are up here in front of 2,000 people.
Yeah. Oh, and I know you're trying, and I
you're
agree. You can
telling
like
me
try to
that
declare
I'm trying
victory
my
after you
hardest.
don't answer the objection. You can be like a
So
pivoting parry, a grandstanding
not.
Gary,
You
if you
can
will.
make your- you can
But
make
what you're
your
not
little
doing is
assumptions
answering
and
the
your-
argument.
but you're over here accusing me of just trying my hardest to get some kind of like closure and prove my point. Like, you're over here literally stating something that is so obnoxiously incorrect.
Yeah.
And even when you have proof in front of you, you are still denying the fact that you are alive here today and that you just happen to be here by chance.
Let's not be a whining Whitney. How about you just engage with the argument, or do I need to move on to the
I'm not
next
whining.
guest?
I'm very passionate about my God, and my God exists.
Yeah, but you're just not really
And I
answering the
feel for you.
argument.
I feel for you because you don't have that same passion.
Yeah, I'm not really asking you to feel for me, but do you have an argument, or should I move on to the next guest?
I feel like I would love to. I'm going to give you a follow because I'd love to talk to you outside of live and maybe just pick your brain a little more.
Yeah, of
I just
course.
feel
You're
like
welcome to come to my Discord.
I'll leave you with this.
Great time to plug. If anybody wants to join the Discord, we reached the max boosting for it. So you can just go to Discord, and then the / link is allegedly Ian, and that's it. There's like nothing in between it. Just allegedly Ian. Discord.com/allegedly Ian if you want to join the Discord. I'd love to talk to you there. We can do like a little Discord VC debate or discussion if you want. Thank you
Okay,
so much,
well-
Dreamy Lotus, for the hand heart.
If it helps you to have conversations in front of a group of people, then I'd be down. But I mean,
It can be whatever you want.
Okay, so I'm gonna follow you on Instagram. Just look for my name. Seth
I
Duke.
don't have an Instagram.
Okay, then I can DM you on TikTok, and I'll just send you my number.
Sounds good. Well, I appreciate you coming on up here. Yeehaw! Thanks so much for the hat and mustache. I appreciate that. Keep on double tapping on that screen. Let's get all the way up to 100K likes. We have almost 2,000 of you in here. All of you left like 10 likes right now. We'd be there super, super quickly. But make sure you drop a follow, share it with your friends, do all that good stuff as we go to the very, very next guest. If you want to support the stream, Venmo's allegedly-Ian. The Cash App is just allegedly Ian. I appreciate any and all support. Thank you all so much. How's it going?
How's it going? Can you?
Yeah. How old are you?
I'm 21.
Okay. What's your strongest argument for the existence of God that does not involve personal experience?
Does not involve personal experience. Well, the first thing I want to say is, can a painting be painted without a painter?
A painting cannot be painted without a painter, but this is going to be disanalogous from like a universe or life because we know where paintings come from, but we don't know where universes come from, right? So it's
Okay.
about prior probability. We know that 100% of paintings come from painters, but we don't know what percent of universes come from gods.
Okay, so let me show you this. Everything you see around you is a manifestation of a thought. Everything begins in the mind first as a thought. Okay.
So are you just like an idealist defender? So what does this mean? God's real?
No.
And well, first of all, what's the argument for this? And second of all, what does this mean?
I'm
God's
showing
real?
you that the God is not something outside of yourself. I do not know that. I know that God is within the self. It is the mind that is God. I mean, you probably think that your brain is your mind, which is that is incorrect. So essentially, everything comes from a thought. Everything you've done in your life, where you are right now in your life, is a direct manifestation of every thought you have thought up until this point.
Does 2 + 2 = 4?
Well, yeah.
Did 2 + 2 = 4, even if there was no humans that existed?
Okay, hold on. Can I please finish my point?
Wait, I just want an answer to the question, though, because I heard your point and I know where you're going, but I just want an answer to my question now. Would 2 + 2 still = 4 if no humans existed?
But what I'm saying is...
Wait, can I
is no
get, and I agree you can say
existence
what I'm
without
saying
mind.
is, but can I get a yes or no
mind
answer to my yes or no question?
I don't know what you're trying to
Well, I just want a yes or no answer to my yes or no question. Before humans existed, was it still true that 2 + 2 = 4?
I really don't know.
You have no idea? You don't know if 2 + 2 always equals 4? You think that there's some times
Yes,
where 2 +
obviously.
2 could equal like 5?
Yeah. Yeah.
It always equaled 4?
Well, I don't know. Wait, what's this point?
Yeah, so the point is to demonstrate that there are some truths that are mind independent.
So what I'm trying to say is, right,
Well, I still need an answer to the question, right?
I really don't know what that question is, to be
It's
honest.
a yes or no question. Before humans existed, did 2 + 2 still = 4?
Well, yeah.
Okay, cool. Yeah, so then clearly not everything needs to originate as like a thought. There's
Okay.
like some truths in the world that can be grasped via thoughts, but like nevertheless, they are not themselves dependent on thoughts.
Well, they are. Because
Oh,
think
sure,
about it.
but there's no thoughts in this world.
Well, think about it, okay?
But 2 + 2 still equals 4.
The phone you're holding, the microphone you're using, was a thought before it is anything physical. Everything in this physical plane is a manifestation of thought. Therefore, you are a thought in the mind of God. You yourself are a thought. And everything in your life up until your point was a thought. Everything begins as thought. Therefore, this world that you are in is an effect of mind, an effect
Yeah,
of...
what's your argument for that?
I'm saying that the universe is mind and the mind is God, not the brain.
Yeah, but what's the argument for that?
I'm showing
That's an
you-
explanation of your worldview, but I'm asking
Yeah.
why is that true?
Because it is true.
Because it
everything
is
around
true.
you.
Oh.
Well, think about it.
Why didn't I think of
Everything you are
that?
holding right now began
Okay.
in your mind.
I would just say that God doesn't exist, and my argument for that is just because it's true.
Oh, well, okay. Just think for a minute, okay? Let go of the ego. Just let go of everything.
Yeah. There's no ego here.
Okay, just think. Everything around you was a thought. So what does that tell you? This world that you are in is an effect of a thought.
I don't think everything around me is a thought.
It was a thought.
I don't agree with that.
How?
Yeah, because I think everything was atoms before, and then from that arose the brain, and then from that arose thoughts.
That makes no sense because everything in your life was a manifestation of a thought.
And I'm telling you that I disagree with that's not true.
That
Thank you,
is
Olivia.
true.
I appreciate Olivia in the comment section, by the way. I see these gifts. Thank you so
Your whole
much.
life was created from thought. Everything around you was a thought.
And I'm telling you, I don't agree with that. And I've given you an argument for why that's not the case. I'm telling you that
so
all
how do you
the data seems to indicate that the actual order of events is that there were atoms, and then these atoms came together to form the Earth, and then through the formation of these from the Earth, these atoms came together to form life forms, and they underwent evolution, and then which eventually developed the brain, and from the brain arises thoughts.
Definitely not. The brain is a computer. It's yes and no.
Yeah, and it's a computer with thoughts, yes.
The brain controls the physical body, but it's the mind. So think about it.
The mind arises from the brain. Wait, and I can prove this super easily. The mind arises from the brain. This is true. An argument for this, because if you damage the brain, you will affect the mind. You can look at all the conditions that arise just solely out of brain
Have
damage.
you ever astral projected before?
What a wild question. No.
You have not.
No.
Okay, so you have not altered your state of consciousness beyond the physical limitation.
I guess not. No.
Okay, so I advise you. I'm not here to. You need to have an open mind on this. I advise you to try this for yourself and expand your mind beyond physicality.
Do you believe in reincarnation?
I don't know about that, but I am telling you, I myself can astral project to beyond physical limitation.
Yeah, and I don't believe that. There's no
Okay,
evidence
that's
that people can astral project.
Well, there is evidence because you need to do it for yourself.
Yeah, can I get like the peer-reviewed study saying that astral projection is
Yes,
possible?
there's a CIA document called the Gateway.
Yeah, wait, so the CIA document essentially just describes how other people are attempting to astral project. It doesn't actually say
how
like,
I
well,
do
hey, we're the CIA. Astral
to
projection is
be
totally real.
as well. Yeah. So I'm telling you that you can alter your state of
And
consciousness.
I'm asking you for the evidence.
You have to do it yourself. That's what I'm trying. I can't.
Wait, so presumably okay.
It only happens within my consciousness. Okay, so this is I'm asking you to go away and go from this. So let me tell you.
I'm not gonna wait.
You can say whatever.
Unless you can provide me like the evidence, I'm not gonna like do your activity.
I'm not asking you. I'm asking you with an open mind to experiment it yourself. So you.
Yeah, and I'm telling you, I'm not gonna do homework for you unless you could provide me like a peer-reviewed study that this is
I'm trying to
real.
expand your mind.
Yeah, so could you give me a peer-reviewed study that this is like a real thing?
Yeah. So essentially, think about this.
That's a yes or no question, by the way.
What was that? Sorry.
Yeah, can you provide me the peer-reviewed study saying that this is like a real thing?
More than likely, yeah. If I really went out my way to do that, but I'm telling you.
Yeah, so what is it? Let's hear it.
Personal experience, I can do that.
Yeah, I'm just not interested.
Okay, yeah, that's fine.
Okay. Well, do you have anything else for me?
Yeah, one last thing.
Yeah.
Think about it this way. Your body is in a plane of 3-dimensional time and space, okay? Your body is.
That's 4 dimensions, but continue.
How is it for how is this
Yeah, because
plane
we have the
for-
3 spatial dimensions and then the time dimension.
Okay, so this physical plane is a 3-dimensional plane, put it that way.
Sure.
You're basically
Yeah, we live in like 3-dimensional space, yeah?
Yeah. So time exists in the 3 dimension. Yeah? Your
No,
body
time is the
exists in
4th
time.
dimension.
Well, sorry. Your body exists in this 3 dimension. Can your body go forward and backwards in time?
Well, I mean, time is just like a difference between moments. I'm not like we can't will to go forward. Time just passes.
But can your body do that? Can it go forward and backwards in time?
It does go forward and backwards into yes.
Can you go into the future with your body?
We are all constantly going into the future at every single
What
moment.
I'm trying to
yes.
say is, can your body go back into the past or future? Can it time travel?
My body was in the past, but it can't time travel. I'm unclear about the question.
What I'm trying to say is your mind can go forward and backwards in time, therefore it exists outside of the plane of time. It exists above and beyond of time.
It exists at different states in time, but it still exists within time.
It does not. It does not. I'm telling you.
Wait,
can.
so do we notice a distinction from moment to moment?
Of course we do, yeah.
Yeah, so then we exist in time.
Yes, but I'm saying that your mind is above and beyond.
W concession.
Your mind is above and beyond time because once you alter your state of consciousness, you can leave this physical plane of time, space, and matter.
And I'm telling you, I don't believe you.
Okay, that's fine. But it's something that you have to go out and experience yourself.
Yeah. Okay. Wait. Would you do something for me to achieve enlightenment? Would you memorize and perform the Jimmy Neutron theme song 32 times to help yourself escape time, space, and matter?
I don't know what you're on about there, to be honest.
Yeah. So do you know Jimmy Neutron?
No, not really. No.
Okay, it's like a cartoon. It's okay. You can just go onto YouTube. You can search up Jimmy Neutron. Would you for me for you to achieve enlightenment, would you memorize the Jimmy Neutron song and perform it 32 times consecutively? Because if you do that, I promise, if you do that, you'll escape the surly bounds of time.
Okay. I see what you're trying to do. It's okay. You have a very closed mind, and that's I accept that. But
Bro's being an ad homing Adrian right now.
I'm telling you that you can expand your mind beyond this physical body. I've done it. I've hundreds of other people in my university who do it also.
Yeah, I'm just looking for the study, right? If you can give me the study,
fine.
I'd be happy to do it. But if I don't have the study, then I'm not going to do it.
Okay, you literally go to my website, download the CIA documents, download the tapes, and it will.
I've already explained what this. So the CIA documents are just documenting how other people are attempting to astral project. It's not them saying that astral projection is real.
I'm telling you, you can do it. I can do it. All
Wait. Can
time.
you tell me what point I just made about the CIA documents? Are you even listening to me?
Yes, that it's an attempt how to do it. Yes.
No, that's the exact opposite of what I said. So do you want to take another stab at it? Let's see if you were listening. What point did I make about the CIA documents just now?
You said it was how to make an attempt to astral project.
No, that's still the exact opposite of what I'm saying.
Okay.
What I'm saying is that this is the CIA observing other people who are attempting to astral project, and they're documenting how these people are attempting to astral project. This is not the CIA saying, here's how you astral project. This is not the CIA saying astral projection is possible.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So this isn't an endorsement by the CIA?
No, not really. I'm just telling you that you can expand your consciousness.
Well, no, because there's no evidence of
You do
that.
that, you will never believe anything beyond physicality, and that is your issue. Probably that is your issue right now. You have not expanded, and I'm telling you,
I don't really care about the psychoanalysis about
okay,
this.
that's fine. I have nothing to.
Do you? Yeah, okay. Do you have anything else for me, or should I move on to the next guest?
Go ahead, brother. Take care.
Yep. Make sure you double tap on that screen, share it with your friends, do all that good stuff. As we go to the very next guest, make sure you're sharing it with your friends, dropping a follow as well. If you want to support the stream, Venmo's allegedly-Ian. Cash App is just allegedly Ian. I appreciate any and all support. Thank you all so much. How's it going?
Good.
How old are you?
I'm almost 30.
Okay.
And I'm
What-
Canadian. And I'm also drunk.
Are you good? Are you sure you want to?
Yeah, no, because I feel very strongly about this
Are
regardless
you?
of whether I'm
You're
sober.
Canadian. It's pretty early to be drunk.
I actually work night shift, so
Oh,
you know.
gotcha. So you're still drunk from last night. Gotcha.
Yeah, so I get up
Gotcha.
at 5 a.m. It's 11 right now. Yeah, so I started drinking around 7. That's regardless. That doesn't matter. That doesn't matter right now. Anyway, so the thing is, what I wanted to come on here.
Wait,
is-
I'm so sorry. I just feel like if I'm really stomping someone who's drunk, I think that's a no-win situation, right? Either I'm the person who loses the debate to the drunk person, or I'm the person who can only win against drunk people. So I'm just gonna go to the next guest. Hey, what's up? How's it going?
What's up, man? How's it going?
Doing well. How old are you?
I'm 19.
Yeah. What's your strongest argument for the existence of God that does not involve personal experience? You need to be 18 or older, or I'm sorry, not 18 or older. You need to come back to the app. If you're off the app, I can't hear you. But while we're waiting for the guests to come back,
Oh, shoot. My bad. I have a whole notes app because I've done debates before. I have a
Yeah.
whole line of arguments.
yeah. Let's hear them.
Hold on. Let me just go find it real
Okay.
quick.
Yeah, you got to go get your arguments. No, I understand. Yeah. Yeah, I also have a big long list of arguments in front of me. Yeah. I have the dialogue tree set up right in front of me. But make sure you're double tapping on that screen, sharing it with your friends.
Okay. So I've never debated on this before, but
Oh, okay.
other than at school, I've never done a real debate, but I'll have an open mind, and you can, if you want to have an open mind, then go ahead.
Yeah, yeah. So what's your argument for why God is real?
Well, why God is real, in my opinion, is because the Bible is the longest known historical book. Because I'm Christian, I believe in Jesus.
That's not true.
So what? That's not true. The Bible isn't.
Yeah, there's like a Buddhist. The oldest known book is a Buddhist book, actually. So if that's your
Really?
argument, then that means that Buddhism is true.
You,
I think it's called like the Diamond Sutra.
oh shit. Well, straight up. All right. Well, now disregarding that, every religion is it comes around to the Bible. Like if you look at a Muslim, the first start of the Quran actually comes from the Bible. And if you look into every religion, they all come back to man. I'm fumbling, dude. I'm not made for this. I'm sorry.
No, it's okay.
Like, I know what I
You're doing like
believe,
fine
I
already.
just have
You
trouble
do.
talking about it, you know.
Listen, you're doing just as well as like any other guest.
Okay. Yeah, maybe. maybe
It's if you
bad
and
idea.
if you don't want to debate, I like totally understand. It's like up to you.
Yeah, I'm
But you're
sorry.
like you're doing fine. Like don't get in your head. Also, like the way you get better at debate is by practicing anyway. Yeehaw! Thanks so much for that, mustache. Plus, I'll be nice to you. Don't worry, I'm not gonna be mean to you.
Yeah, no, I can tell you're you know not being condescending or anything like all these people are saying. But there's also the Dead Sea Scrolls, which were found. Do you know about the Dead Sea Scrolls?
Yeah. What do you think the Dead Sea Scrolls are?
I think the Dead Sea Scrolls are original texts, or not original texts, but more of like one of the first, like earliest foundings of original texts that we can find. Like, not I shouldn't say original, but one of the first foundings of Bible texts that we can find is what I mean.
So the Dead Sea Scrolls are a really early version of the Old Testament. They don't mention Jesus at all.
Yeah, but if the Old Testament is true, then what does that like qualify? If the Old Testament is true, and the Old Testament talks about all the prophecies of the New Testament, which I guess this is where people from like Jewish come in saying that Jesus hasn't returned, but the Old Testament qualifies the New Testament, so which qualifies Jesus.
Yeah, I would probably like disagree with this, that Jesus fulfills any prophecies. I also don't know. So why does the mere existence of the Dead Sea Scrolls mean that they're true?
Why does anything mean that it's true? If you really think about it, like, why do we believe the historical texts that have been given to us in school? Just because people say it's true doesn't mean it's true, but we still believe that. You know what I mean? So if we base all of our beliefs off of what we have researched, found, and there was another word I was looking for, like research, found, and well, it's whatever. But honestly, I'm not good at this. I just lose my train of thought all the time.
That's okay.
Yeah.
Do you want to? Well, yeah. I mean, like again, like the way you get better at debate is by debating. Like there's no like. Nobody has like magic dust to sprinkle on you. There's like no argument that like just automatically makes you good at debating. It's just about like experience and practice. So the way
I appreciate you letting me on.
Oh
here,
yeah.
but
Wait, do you want to? Are you leaving? It's okay if you are.
Yeah, everyone's flaming me in the comments, so it's
No,
okay.
you're chilling. Don't worry about them. But yeah, I totally understand. But I do appreciate you coming on up here.
No, I appreciate you letting me on, man. You have a good day.
Yeah, you as well. Make sure you're double tapping on that screen. Share it with your friends. Do all that good stuff. Make sure you're dropping a follow. Yeah, W guest in the comment section. No, this guest doesn't this guest wasn't worse than any of the other guests. Like, let's be so real. But make sure you're dropping a follow, sharing it with your friends, doing all that good stuff. You should also consider joining the Discord if you're 18 or older. The Discord is discord.com/allegedlyian. We have the name now, so you can just join via that. Yeah, just like consider joining. You can play bingo right now. You can just go into the Discord, you type $God, and then a bingo sheet will pop up. What's up? How's it going?
Hey Ian, how you doing, man? Thanks
Doing
for
well.
having me on.
Yeah, how old are you?
I'm 33 years old.
Yeah. What's your strongest argument for the existence of God that does not involve personal experience?
I would have to say multicultural faith over, I guess, the history of Earth and all humans that have been here, despite, several, I guess over thousands of years all these different communities all over the earth kind of all believe in a God without actually ever meeting each other. It's like a historical, and you can go back, thousands of years, and you'll see all these cultures that believe in a God. And I don't want to use the Bible or any books. A lot of these books were assembled by men anyways. I guess there are several books that speak about God. I guess the Bible was assembled by a group of guys who decided what book should be in there. So I don't really essentially believe, I think maybe the Bible there should be more books according to that, but I just feel that what proves it is, I guess, multiculturals.
Yep. Yeah, so here's the critique of that. Every single culture had a wildly different conception of God. So if you take the Native American cultural practices, they didn't typically believe in like gods as like dudes who did stuff. They believed in spirits that were a part of literally every part of nature, that there was this intrinsic life force driving nature that was deeply connected to spirits. If you look at like the Greeks, they believed in Zeus and Poseidon and all of those folks. If you look at the god of Judaism or the Abrahamic God, it's just this one dude. The conceptions of God differ very, 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 very widely across every culture. But what unites all of them is a belief in specific supernatural forces. So it becomes a question of why would all these cultures invent these supernatural forces? And that there's a clear answer. It's because there were things in the world that they didn't understand. We have observed this during colonial times where specific indigenous islanders, there were people who there were colonizers who came with boats, and they brought these weapons and these foods and these medicines that they had never seen before. They had no idea how to make them, so they assumed that they were supernatural and mystic, and then they invented an entire religion around boats and they were called boat cults, and it was entirely because there was a thing that they didn't understand. That's why people form supernatural beliefs, is because there's something they can't explain. And if you just assume well, that's just the spirits, well, the spirits are doing that. Well, it's raining because Poseidon is angry, or there's lightning because Zeus is throwing lightning bolts, or the sun rises because of Apollo, or things like that. That's a lot easier to believe than to accept the fact that there's some things we don't know. But just because it's easier to believe that does not mean that that's the case.
So all these cultures throughout thousands of years, they all consistently made up a god.
Yep. They made up various supernatural forces. They don't have a shared conception of God.
That's interesting.
Yep.
What about quantum physics?
What about quantum physics?
It kind of states that you can't really have a universe without a mind entering into that universe to perceive it.
No, definitely not. No.
So, nothing can exist without, I guess, some kind of intelligence to understand that it exists.
No, quantum physics doesn't say that anywhere in. So quantum physics just states that there's certain laws of the universe at subatomic levels that are chancy, that they're probabilistic, or at least that's the most common interpretation.
Do you feel that science proves there's a God? Or I believe that science is really about understanding how things, work. And I feel that, science doesn't know everything, right? So
yeah, science doesn't know everything, but it's learning new things every day. And it's also more reliable than any religion has ever been. Science makes predictions which are credibly accurate, whereas religions don't. Religions make predictions which are all the time inaccurate. Let's take the Bible, for example. It said that Jesus would, that the generation of the disciples would not pass away from the planet until Jesus had fulfilled all the prophecies and had returned. Problem is, prophecies didn't get fulfilled. Jesus didn't return. The Bible said that, Bible said outer space is water. Turns out it's not. Bible makes lots of claims that just turn out to just not be the case.
It's hard to really get into this argument without, using, I guess, these older texts. But just based on what we know today, there's a lot of theory and not actual proof of anything? If that
No,
makes any
there's
sense.
well for science or for the Bible or for which one are we talking about?
I'd say for science, a lot.
Yeah,
of
well, there's theories, but all these theories have proof behind them. They wouldn't be theories if they didn't have proof. This is why, like, evolution is a theory, whereas the idea that God said abracadabra, alakazam, and then life appeared, that's not even a theory. It doesn't even rise to the evidentiary standard of being a theory, which is why, like, creationism is not scientifically taken seriously at all because there's no evidence for it, whereas there is evidence for, like, evolution, for example.
Well, we know everything has a frequency. Yes, everything has.
What do you mean by, I don't know what that
sound.
means.
I guess there are different, physical properties. Everything is made up of, like you were talking about atoms and, just, I guess, the building blocks of life. But even those atoms have a frequency. Everything has like a.
I don't know what frequencies mean. I'm not sure what you mean by that.
I guess
I'm not sure if frequency is a property of atoms. I don't think it is.
Well, I guess all matter is energy. If that, you agree with that?
Energy is a property of matter. Matter itself is not energy.
So from my understanding of physics, that energy can neither be created nor destroyed.
Yeah. But I mean, that would seem to disprove your God insofar as God created energy.
Well, I would. It's hard to say that my God. I mean, I don't really feel like it's. I mean, there are several. Like I said, there are several views on God, so it's hard to say.
But you're a Christian, right?
I would say that I'm a believer in God. But
do you think Jesus is the Son of God?
He could be, right? I mean, I don't know if he. I mean, there are people who say he is. I'm not going to discredit all these people that have had
Are you driving?
I'm sorry about that. It was a really loud motorcycle, but there are.
Sorry. If you're driving, I can't talk to you. That's against TikTok terms of service. Sorry about that. Only request to join if you're not driving, if you're 18 or older, and if you think that God is real. But make sure you keep on double tapping that screen, not getting pushed out to the algorithm as much. But we can if we just keep on tapping on that screen. What's up, Violet? How's it going?
I just have to say something.
Wait, can I ask how old you are quick?
I'm 14.
Oh, you had to be 18 or older to request to join, sorry. But keep on like sharing it with your friends, doing all that good stuff. And if you're Riley, thanks so much for the $6.66 on Venmo. W Riley, W666, W Satan. Hail Satan. I appreciate that, Riley. But yeah, let's keep on getting this live out to more people. We got this. Let's hit our stride. If you want to join the community, there's a link to the Discord in my bio. I'd love to see you there. What's up, Desi? How's it going?
Good.
How old are you?
26.
Okay. What's your strongest argument for the existence of God that does not involve personal experience?
Well, it's not that, like, sorry. It's
You
because you
should
can't
be.
see him or feel him. That doesn't mean that he's not there. When he can move in mystical, like magical ways. You'd never know it, but he is there. You just can't see him or feel him sometimes.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so this doesn't mean like just saying like, well, you can't see him and feel him, but he's still there isn't an argument, because there's lots of things that you can't see or feel that aren't there. For example, Casper the Friendly Ghost isn't in the corner of your room, despite the fact that you can't see him or hear him. So just because you can't see or hear something doesn't mean that it exists. Do you got anything else from me, or should I move on to the next guest?
I don't know.
All right, well, appreciate you coming on up here. Casper watches me at night. Me too. Yeah, just keep on double tapping on that screen. We have 1.6k of you. Let's get to 160k likes.
Fucking little nigga.
Oh, you can't say that. Otherwise, the live will get taken down. That would be sad. It would make me sad. Thank you so much. Appreciate the rose. Ali, thank you so much for the art, me. I appreciate that. Hey, what's up, Gold Boy? How's it going? Oh, I feel like I'm interfering with something. Also, that sounds like a car. Wow. We're really trying out here, gang. We're really trying out here. But we'll get there. We'll get there. Keep on pushing on through. Thank you so much, FXDC13. Appreciate that. What's up, Andre? How's it going?
Get it.
Oh, I can't hear you. You're like whispering. We doing ASMR? Yeah, share it with your friends. We unlocked the Discord feature where you have like a link that's like a word. So if you go to discord.com/allegedlyian, that takes you to the Discord server. It's pretty rad. That's the join code. The join code is now allegedly Ian. So feel free to join if you're 18 or older if you want to go play bingo with all the people currently playing bingo right now. What's up, Powerhouse? How's it going?
Hey man, how's it going?
Yeah, how old are you?
I'm 43.
Okay. What's your strongest argument for the existence of God that does not involve personal experience?
Oh, that's I would say my personal testimony.
Yeah, but I'm asking for like an argument that's not personal testimony.
Yeah, so that's I've been listening to you answer that question, and I got to be honest, I'm struggling interpreting the question, like the type of data you're looking for.
Yeah, I'm looking for like scientific data that would be like pretty compelling, like historical evidence that would be like pretty compelling. If you like a philosophical argument, especially, I love philosophical arguments.
That you might be great for the term a helix. You know what a helix is?
Is it just like a thing that's like wrapped in another thing?
Yeah, a base. Yeah, exactly.
Yep.
So it's like a data pool.
What? Yeah.
It would be a helix could be like a data set. I'm into computers.
Maybe I'm confused about what a helix is. Then let me look up a definition so we're just on the same page.
It's in chemistry.
Yeah. Helix definition: an object having a three-dimensional shape like that of a wire wound uniformly in a single layer around a cylinder or cone, like a corkscrew. Gotcha. No, I do know what a helix is. Yeah.
Okay, and then an aura. Do you know what an aura is?
like the TikTok word, or
well,
like the thing Lucario shouts in Super Smash Bros. Brawl.
No, I think it might be the Da Vinci guy where he's got his arms out and there's like a ball around him. It's like they do a lot of calculus with it. An aura, like a sphere. You put your arms out straight and then you have a sphere.
What?
An aura. Have you ever heard of the term aura? A-U-R-A? Aura?
Yeah. What?
Yeah. Aura. So I believe...
Is this like a shape?
Exactly. It's like a sphere, a ball.
Are you trolling or?
Pardon?
You trolling?
No, definitely not. Definitely not.
Can I ask what religion you are?
Christian.
Can you tell me what the first 3 books of the Torah, or like not of the Old Testament?
Genesis is the first book. I don't know what the second book is.
That's like good enough, I think. Okay, yeah. So what's your argument for why God is real?
But it's not a personal testimony.
Yeah, it's like I don't want it like a personal testimony. I'm like extremely uninterested.
Yeah, so that's where I was going with this concept of the aura. So I believe, and this is the 3D bros conversation, that I have 180 centimeters cubed of space of volume that I could quantify as my energy that I personally manage every day.
And what's the argument for that?
No, this is my belief system, and this is the light codes and decision trees I use to make.
Yeah, but like, what's the evidence that you have?
My produce, my product. You'll know the people by the works of their hands, their produce. I have some.
This sounds like nonsense. Do you have real arguments?
Yeah, well, I'm matrix free for the past 20 years.
Okay, maybe you should get back in the matrix. It might make sense if you do. Like maybe somebody will actually be able to understand the things that you're saying if you. I mean, I didn't realize that like exiting the matrix like also involved like losing your ability to form like sentences that are understandable.
Yeah, exactly. And part of that's a great point, because part of communicating the good news is just bringing the good news is making the words understandable and relatable to all. And
do you think you're doing that?
I'm doing the best I can, and you're helping us append the disparity between what you see and what I see, and that's a good thing.
Okay, you should. These, I just have no idea what you're talking. Like, truly, no idea what you're talking about.
An aura.
Yeah.
Can
What's
you
your
Google
evidence
it?
that
No,
auras
Google an
exist?
Aura. You'll see just in Wikipedia they show aura like a.
Yeah, what's
sphere
your
on
what's
thing.
your evidence that auras exist?
Well, I'm using the. I can't say it exists real. I'm just using Wikipedia as a point of reference of an aura.
Yeah, I just want your
again,
evidence that
just
this is
my
like a
belief system.
phenomena that exists. Like I could, I believe in atoms. I think atoms exist, and I could like demonstrate
I
to you
see.
experimentally that atoms exist. So you say that like auras exist, and I just want to know what the evidence that auras exist are.
I don't have any for you. So this
Okay,
is-
gotcha. So do you have any?
Conceptual, I'll say conceptual.
Do you have any? Okay, it just like kind of seems like you don't ever have an argument, really.
Well, I'm delivering value. I'm bringing value, so I'm not really here to argue.
Yeah, I'm looking for an argument though. Like
argument to what? Why God is real?
Yeah, just like God is real because of this.
Here's maybe a bit of a joke. Because of accounting. Accounting. So I like binary. I use Boolean logic a lot, and it's quite powerful. So numbers tell the story, right?
So by Boolean logic, you just mean that some things are true and some things are false?
Correct. And then I add another variable.
Why are we calling it Boolean logic? Why can't we just say like some things are true and some things are false?
You can say that too. That's a good synonym.
Okay. It just feels like we're being like obfuscatory.
What's that mean?
Like you're making the meaning obscure?
Oh. Cool. Sweet. I appreciate your feedback.
Happy to do that for you.
Yeah, man.
Okay. Well, I'm
So-
probably going to move on to the next guest because it seems like we don't really have an argument. But yeah, if you're in that guest request box, make sure you have an argument. Not really interested in talking to people. I've just gotten like a lot in a row who like don't have a defense of their position at all. So keep on double tapping on that screen, dropping a follow as well. Only join if you're 18 or older. Also, that's the other thing. If you're not 18 or older, not really interested in talking to you. It's also like a violation of TikTok terms of service. That's the other thing. But yeah, keep on like, hey, what's up? How's it going?
I don't think I need to give my age. I think you can tell I'm a little older.
Yeah, yeah. Can you get closer to your microphone, maybe?
Can I do that? Yeah. Can you hear me better now?
Yeah, I can hear you now. Yeah, what's your strongest argument for the existence of God that does not involve personal experience?
Okay, so most folks in your position are looking for physical evidence.
No, I feel physical, historical, philosophical. I just don't want anecdotes. I don't want I want to hear about like this like compelling archaeological evidence or like this killer philosophical argument. I don't want to hear about like I was dying from cancer and then I wasn't dying from cancer. I
understand. And I have one of those, but I'm not going to go there.
Yeah.
So the first atom, the first molecule, okay. I understand some people believe in and I don't understand how they do that, but an eternal multiverse statement, right?
I believe in an eternal universe. I don't believe in an eternal multiverse.
Okay, so that would mean without beginning, correct? Eternal would be without beginning. And so that's what science doesn't show us that. Physical things decay. Physical things decay and they renew through a process, but we don't have it. So the Hubble telescope tells us something.
Wait. Can I answer that really quick? So science actually does indicate that there's like strong evidence the universe is eternal. One of the like postulates that comes from the Schrodinger's equations is just that the universe is eternal. It's called the quantum eternity theorem. Basically, just states that if there's energy in the universe, there's like a non-zero amount of energy in the universe, then the universe has existed forever.
Right, but from that you're postulating, and so that should be as equally unable to be argued as my thoughts on how I feel about things.
No,
you should recognize that's
but it can be
kind of
argued.
weak. Okay, so here's my thing.
Wait. Let's not be a pivoting Perry here. Let's just engage with the argument. So what's the critique? So your critique is literally just like, well, you derived this equation from this other equation. How is that a critique?
Okay. And I'm here's my points. First atom, And if the Hubble telescope says that the universe is expanding, what is it expanding into? So physically, it's very difficult.
Are you asking me, or what are we doing? Also,
Yeah,
wait. I do, because it seems like you're not listening. It seems like you're talking to talk. So could you tell me what question I asked you?
You were asking me, because I said that you're postulating, right? So you're coming into basically what I would say is a different way of saying the way I feel.
No. In the same way that, like, there's certain laws of physics. From these laws of physics, we can derive certain properties from them. So we know the Schrodinger's equations are one of the most verified things in existence. And from that, we can just tell basic fact that the universe has always existed if there's a non-zero amount of energy in the universe.
I don't believe you can. I don't see that. I think that's a belief.
Wait, so which part of that is the belief? So yes, it is a belief, but some beliefs are better than others. So I believe the sky is blue because every time I look at the sky, it is blue. Whereas, like, if somebody believed that the sky is red, that would be like a bad belief. So some beliefs have evidence behind them, some beliefs don't have evidence behind them. Nobody is claiming that they don't have beliefs.
Okay, so when you look at, from my standpoint, recognizing God to be beyond time and space.
Wait, you keep on trying to, like, pivot away. I just want an answer to the quantum eternity theorem. What's your critique of the Schrodinger's equations?
I don't know the equation.
Oh, cool. So you rejected this thing that you don't even know?
Just like you reject God. You don't know.
Well, no, but I know the properties of God, which is why I reject God, because there's contradictions in the properties of God. Thanks so much for the little crown. Appreciate it.
Okay, a squared circle. Does a squared circle exist?
Sure doesn't.
It does not?
Yep. By the definitions of these two things.
Dimension. It does in the 180th dimension.
Yeah, but we live in, like, the dimension that we live in, so.
But a squared circle exists.
Yeah, well,
That's
so
the
it
point.
doesn't, but we don't live in that dimension. So when I talk
Doesn't matter.
about this,
It
I'm talking about,
exists.
like, the dimension we actually live in, not like a different possible world. I'm talking about the place we live. Like, there's a possible world where Santa exists, but I wouldn't say that, like, Santa exists because there's a possible world where Santa exists. Thanks so much for the cap. I appreciate it.
It actually looked good on you. So that's my point, though, is that people want to limit things in the third dimension just because this is a third dimension. Think about that. 1, 2, 3. That's not much. That's not much. And I believe there are
confused what your
quadrillion
point is.
dimensions.
I'm just confused what the argument is. Thank you so much asking me about my fingerprints for the hand heart and everybody else for the gifts.
Basically, I think that we limit knowledge to what we feel is possible.
Whoa, Melvin, thank you so much for these VR goggles. That's sick as fuck. W Melvin in the comment section. Appreciate that. Yeah, so why does that mean God exists?
Again, my point being, where did the first atom come from, and where is the universe expanding?
Why does there need to be, like, a first atom? So the universe is eternal because of the quantum eternity theorem, a thing that you've conceded you don't have a critique of. Where the first atom came from, I don't think there was, like, a first atom. There wasn't a first anything. The universe has always existed. Thank you so much for the paper cream. I appreciate that. Well, that's just what science says. So if you just disagree with science, then, like, that's a you problem.
Okay, well, what do you consider science to be?
I think science is the methodology of renewing our conclusions based on data, gathering empirical data based on observation, and then developing this data into theories that are in line with the data, and then testing them to see what their predictive fruitfulness is. Essentially, that science is self-correcting. As we get more evidence, we come to new conclusions if our old conclusions are not in line with the new evidence.
Well, that's not true.
That is exactly what science is. So,
well, it's what it's supposed to be.
Oh, so I defend that. I defend that thing.
Okay, because you know about the soft tissue found in dinosaur bone.
Yeah, this is. I mean, there's, like, explanations for this. Let me pull up. There's, like, a specific mechanism related to this, and I'd be happy to send you the scientific paper.
They want to explain that away. They don't want to look at it anymore.
Well, no, because they come up with a naturalistic explanation for it. And then
Right, an
they
excuse.
explain it, and then it's explained away. Correct.
Right, and that's
Well,
not
wait,
science.
it's not an excuse. It's an explanation. This is like saying like, well, why were you late today? And it's like, well, I just got caught in traffic. Well, that's just an excuse. I think you were actually cheating on me. Like that's nonsense. This is like a nonsense way to live your life. We should be living our life based on evidence.
But they're not looking at it anymore.
Yeah. So what's the evidence that they're not looking at anymore?
Peer review laughs at people that are not in line with previously stipulated quote unquote facts.
Oh, okay, wait. So let's go back to the soft tissue and dinosaur bones. So I'll send you a study on this. So let's talk about this because you keep on going from like nonsense claim to nonsense claim to nonsense claim, and you're not really substantiating any of them. So I just think that you should be made to concede all of them.
No.
So
what I'm talking about is this person found this
Yeehaw!
evidence.
Thanks so much for that mustache.
This person found the evidence, and they
why
want
are
to
you
ignore
scared
it.
of the evidence? Wait, let me
They
give
have
you the
found the
evidence.
soft tissue
Wait,
evidence.
Why
and
are
they
you
want to ignore
scared?
it.
Why are you scared of the explanation? Just let me explain this to you. So the article is titled Soft Tissue and Fossil Bones by Philip J. Center. It says, recent studies identify Fenton reactions as a plausible preservation mechanism for cells and soft tissue within bones.
Are you done?
Yeah, so what's your critique of that?
Plausible.
Yeah, well, because everything
Well,
in
Santa
science,
Claus is
all
plausible.
the knowledge
Santa
in science
Claus is plausible,
tentative.
buddy. Santa Claus
No,
in the
I mean
universe
it's not
is
though,
plausible.
because supernatural things don't exist.
Well, see, that's your opinion.
So what's the argument that supernatural things do exist?
Go back to the first Adam.
Yeah, there wasn't a first Adam. I've already told you this.
No, that's your belief.
You're being a pivoting Perry right now. I just
That's
want
fine.
to know.
Call
what
me
the
pivoting
critique-
Perry. I'm a Christian, so I believe what I believe. But the fact of the matter is you're just simply wanting to ignore what you
Which
disagree with.
evidence? And I agree, we can be a grandstanding Gary, but how about we be a debating Debbie? What's the thing that I'm ignoring? Before you assert like you're ignoring this thing, how about you ask me about the thing?
So I asked you about, because you're saying an eternal universe. Prove that. And
Yeah,
you're,
the quant-
you're
the
saying, well,
quantum
there's an
eternity
equation
theorem.
that we have postulated,
Yeah,
which is not a fact.
Wait. So no, it is a fact because it's in line with literally all of the evidence.
Okay, so here's my view. You didn't ask me my view of science.
Well, I don't care about your view of science is like clearly distorted. I don't really care.
No, because what it is that what your definition
Wait.
was.
I didn't ask. So unless this is related to your argument for the existence of God, it's irrelevant.
That is grandstanding.
Do you want to make like an actual argument, or if you're out of arguments, I'd be happy to make one at you.
No, I don't want to argue with you, my friend. I want you to try and open your mind.
Yep. Yeah. Okay. And I want you to try to open your mind. So if God's all good, and He's all powerful and He's all knowing, why would there be morally unjustifiable evils in the world?
Morality is human based, and what society determines, sin and righteousness, is God determined.
Yeah. Wait. So does God? So you think that morality is subjective?
Morality is human subjection. That is correct.
So is
In
God
other words,
all good?
the one argument I use is a nudist colony. Is nudity a sin? Is nudity immoral? You wouldn't take a shower.
Oh, I don't think nudity is immoral if everyone consents. I don't really care.
There you go.
As long as like
And
everybody is a consenting adult in the nudist colony, I think it's weird. Certainly, I don't think that they're doing anything immoral.
that is their morality, and it's based on the society.
So you think morals are subjective?
By human statements, yes.
Gotcha. So
Human
do you think
beliefs.
God is all good? Do you think everything God does is moral?
God is perfect.
But is God moral?
God is righteous.
Is God moral?
You haven't understood my definition of the difference of morality.
Yeah, so you're
and
saying
sin.
morality is subjective, so you would say no, God is not moral because God is
No,
objective.
I told you
presumably.
morality is based on human perceptions.
Yeah, so you think it's subjective, yeah. Human perception, i.e. human subjectivity, i.e. you think morality is subjective.
Morality is subjective.
Oh, okay,
by
wait.
human standards, but sin,
sin
and righteousness are not. You're not letting me finish.
I think
sin
morality
and
is
righteousness
subjective.
are
So
sin
do you,
and righteousness. Sin and righteousness are different from morality.
so righteousness is in line with morality, right? Like if it's righteous, then it's presumably
we're not
moral.
aligning. We're not aligning. There is a difference. There is a difference between God's righteousness and what He determines to be sinful and righteousness, compared to what man determines to be moral or immoral. There's a difference.
That's chill. But presumably, if you think more morals are objective, then you would just say God's right and everybody else is wrong. But that's okay. I feel like that's not what you say. That's just like very out of line with what most Christians say. But it's like, I'm not going to ask you to defend what they believe. I mean, you're your own individual. So do you think God is all righteous?
Yes.
So if God's all righteous, all powerful, and all knowing, why do unjustifiable evils exist in the world?
What unjustifiable evils you discussing?
Yeah, like the raping of children.
That's sin that man brought into the world.
Yeah, so why would God not like eliminate this?
Because he gives us free will and free choice.
Oh, okay. So I mean, we restrict each other's free will all the time, right? Do you think that it's like? Do you think that we should put somebody who rapes children in jail?
Yes.
Yeah, but that's a restriction of their free will, right?
No.
Oh, so then God teleporting them into jail would also not be a restriction of their free will.
Do you believe yourself to be more intelligent?
Wait. I'm not gonna let you pivot away from this. So
okay, I'm sorry. Go ahead. So where does God teleport anything? Where do you see God's teleportation?
If putting somebody in jail is not a restriction of their free will, then that means that God could instantly teleport a child rapist into jail as soon as they start raping a child. So why doesn't God do that if he's all righteous? That seems like the righteous thing to do.
It is bizarre to me how
you're doing meta commentary because you can't engage with the argument.
God does not work in the method that you're talking about.
Wait. You're doing meta. You're complaining about the debate. You're being a whining Whitney right now. I don't want a whining Whitney. I want a debating Debbie. I want you to engage with the argument. If it's not a restriction of your free will to be locked in jail, then why doesn't God teleport rapists into jail immediately as soon as they start trying to rape people?
So who puts people in jail?
I just asked you a question.
I'm asking who puts people in jail?
Well, so people put people in jail because God doesn't exist. That's my argument.
No, that's not.
Whoa, Kat, thank you so
correct.
much for the glowing jellyfish. W Kat in the comment section. I appreciate the heck out of that. You're very kind.
So that's your standards.
Wait.
Putting
You
God
you still have an. I'm not gonna let you pivot away from this. You're being a pivoting Perry right now, and I'm not gonna let you. You still need to answer the question: why doesn't God teleport rapists into jail as soon as they start raping people?
I did give you an answer.
Yeah, what's the answer?
That's not how God does things.
Oh, then I would say that God isn't all righteous then. Because the righteous thing to do is to stop the grape.
The righteous thing to do is for you to worship God.
No, it's not, because God doesn't exist. But do you wait? So let's break it down like this, because I know you keep on trying to like flip this on me, but even though I don't believe in God. So let's say I'm an all righteous next door neighbor, and I hear somebody getting raped outside, like in the outside next to me. I can either call the police, or I can like physically go down there and stop it. Or I can like close my window and do nothing. Would I still be an all good next door neighbor if I just closed my window and did nothing?
Not in my moral view.
Yeah, exactly. And similarly, if God doesn't stop grape when it wouldn't be a restriction of people's free will to do so, then God is not all good.
Not in his righteous view.
Oh, so your morality is different. So, okay. So, if God believes something, is it true?
If God believes something, is it true?
Yeah.
What kind of questions are these you're coming up with, man?
If God believes something,
if God
is it true?
believes something, God knows all.
Yeah. So if God believes something, is it true?
He doesn't sit there and believe. He knows.
So belief is the common interpretation of knowledge as a justified true belief. So in order to know something, you must believe something, i.e. I know 2 + 2 = 4, but I also believe that 2 + 2 = 4. So does God believe... Does God believe only true things?
God knows true things.
Yeah, cool. So God knows that the righteous thing to do is to not stop the grape. Is that correct?
Do you know the future?
Wait. I need you to answer. So
I cannot answer that question in that manner.
So wait. What precept do you reject about the question?
I cannot answer a question based on only current events and not recognizing God is in all time.
So you think? Are you saying that God has a higher reason for not like stopping things like grape?
Yes.
Okay, cool. So God has a moral justification for why grape brings about the greater good. Is that correct?
A righteous. You got to.
I'm sorry. God has a righteous justification for why grape brings about the greatest good.
Yes.
Okay, cool. So you would that means that for any evil in the world that God does not prevent, there is a righteous reason for God to allow it to happen. Is that correct?
And you're saying as if he is
Wait, I just
pleased
want
with it.
to. I just like
He's
a
not
couple more
pleased with
questions.
it.
I promise. Just a couple more questions. So for any evil thing,
Well, I know
in
you're
the
trying to
world,
direct me down
God
that
is
rabbit hole.
God is a righteous. Well, yeah, that's how debate works. So God is a righteous reason for not.
No, this is not a
stopping this
debate.
thing.
This
And
is
I
not a
agree.
debate.
I
I
agree.
want
You can
to make
fake laugh,
debates.
but wait. And I agree. You can like fake laugh and say it's not a debate. Unfortunately, the title of the stream is debates, so it is a debate. We're making
Where's
arguments.
that?
Yeah, you can. I mean, if you wanted to
Where is
like pop out of the stream and then look at what it's tagged, it literally says debates. That's the title of the stream.
Well, what? Okay, here. This is what I want to do.
Wait, and I'm not gonna let you pivot away from it.
No,
So,
we can come right back to this.
I'm
We
not
can
gonna
come
let you pivot away from this. You're being a pivoting Perry right now, and I know you want to
Ian,
avoid
you're killing
this. Wait. Listen. It's almost done. We're almost done. I just have like 2 or 3 more questions left. So, God has a morally righteous reason to allow for any evil
Stop
to occur.
saying moral.
Sorry, God has a righteous reason to not stop like child grape, for example, because child grape brings about the greater good. Is that correct?
I am a victim of this. Yes.
Yeah, and I'm really sorry to hear that. So
I want to use you. I can use that as an example.
I'm not interested.
But you don't want
it's the
personal
trauma
stuff.
dump that I just like. I'm really sorry that happened to you.
That's not. It's not a trauma dump. Not a trauma dump.
It is a trauma dump.
No,
but I'm really sorry that happened to you. But
That's
it's
fine.
not really what I'm looking for. So
I know, but see, that's your problem with your debating tactics. It's only what you're looking for.
I just have one last question. So, you're saying that from God's perspective, it was righteous to allow Jeffrey Epstein to grape all of the kids that Jeffrey Epstein graped. That Jeffrey Epstein was righteous in doing so insofar as it brought about the greater good.
No, he was not righteous.
But it's righteous. So there's a justification for why it's righteous for these things to occur, which means that if Jeffrey Epstein knew the justification, that would make Jeffrey Epstein righteous in bringing about the greater good via graping children.
No.
Okay, so which premise do you reject?
That Epstein has any righteousness in him.
Oh, yeah. So that's the conclusion, but I'm asking you which premise do you reject?
But you understand that Epstein isn't part of God's righteousness.
That's the conclusion. That's the conclusion. You need to reject a premise. You can't reject the conclusion if you accept all the premises. It's like a staircase. If you walk up all the stairs,
why are you equating God and Epstein? Why are you equating God?
Yeah, I'm not equating God and Epstein. I think that you're just not tracking. So
maybe I'm not tracking.
Let's be like a focusing Frank right now, okay? So the argument is that God allows child grape to occur because there's a morally righteous reason for it to happen, i.e., it brings about the greater good.
Okay, so again, we're going to get rid of that word morally.
Yeah. So you agree from God's perspective, child grape brings about the greater good?
You're not going to let me answer.
That's just a yes or no question.
That's the problem.
Yeah, so does child grape bring about the greater good from God's perspective?
God righteousness.
It's a yes or no question, by the way.
Yeah, see, that's the problem. Any debate, have you ever had a debate where a yes or no question is required?
Yeah, wait, I was like third in the nation in debate. Yeah, there's like, during my senior year of college, yeah, yes or no questions are like all the fucking time. Yeah, constantly. Yeah, yes.
Dude, you're exactly
yeah,
who I want to talk to about this. You're exactly who I want to talk to about this. Okay. So I'm going to choose not to answer because I cannot answer yes and no to that because it needs an explanation.
Well, it's a yes or no question. So.
But that's a problem. So it requires
It's not. You can, I'll let you explain it. You just need to give. I will stay dead silent for 2 minutes to let you explain if you give the yes or the no at the top of it.
Okay, restate your question.
Yeah. So, from God's perspective, does child grape bring about the greater good?
I'm looking at all I can. God's perspective. From God's perspective. It must. Which is a yes. So I need to respond now for my 2 minutes.
Yep.
Okay. So God sees all things from beginning to end. My experience that I mentioned allows me to understand more from that standpoint to help others. Sin was brought into the world by man. Man is imperfect. God is perfect. God knows all things and all knows our sins and knows the mistakes and things that are done. Therefore, his righteousness is fulfilled throughout time, and he utilizes those mistakes people have made, the immoral activities, the sinful activities, for the greater good to serve him. That is the greater good.
Gotcha.
That's why it's his righteousness, and he's not pleased with these things, but he allows them for his greater righteousness.
Well, I mean, that's the reductio, right? Like you just said that child grape brings about the greater good.
In a very odd way that we, from our standpoint, but God sees what's fit.
Yep,
now,
that's nonsense.
I would like
child grape
like,
is like obviously very, very bad. It does not bring about the greater good.
Well, no, you don't understand everything from God's perspective, and neither do I. But God is great. God is righteous.
Child grape is bad, actually.
I told you, and I'm not going to dump on you. I told you. I agree. But that's our understanding. Now listen to me, because this is what I want to talk about. Is you have fantastic debating skills. What I'd love to see is that you figure out a way for us to have 5-minute boxes for opening statements and then rebuttal times in boxes so we don't interrupt each other. I know it can be done here. I think I'm trying to do it for myself, to do it live, and I wanted to know if people are interested. Rather than the drama, we have actual debates where people actually have...
Wait, don't plug your shit. What the fuck? You don't get to plug your goddamn live. Get out of here. No free clout. No free clout. Get out of here. Fuck. Damn. People will just use me for anything. What am I? I don't even know, dude. Make sure you're double tapping on that screen, sharing it with your friends, get it in front of as many people as you can. Make sure you're dropping a follow as well if you never want to miss a debate in the future. If you want to join the community, if you want to go play bingo right now, you can play God Bingo with everybody else. It's in the Discord. The link to the Discord is allegedly Ian. That's just the link. But keep on double tapping on that screen. It's a great place to talk about politics, religion, philosophy, all of that. And with that, we can go to the very next guest. But also, if you want to support the stream, Venmo's allegedly-Ian. The Cash App is just allegedly Ian. I appreciate any and all support. Thank you all so much. Hey, what's up? How's it going?
What's up?
Yeah, how old are you?
I'm 28 years old.
Okay. What's your strongest argument for the existence of God that does not involve personal experience?
Well, to me, I think it's just that something exists rather than it doesn't exist.
So why does God exist rather than not existing?
Well, if something exists, then something must have created it, right?
But why does God exist rather than not existing?
Well, God is just a word.
FXDC13, thank you so much for the subscription. Welcome to the community. I appreciate that. I'm sorry, please continue.
That's okay. I feel like God is just a word. Like, you can just say... It's not a he, it's whatever it is that created whatever we are in, that's God. And
yeah, I understand.
How can you refute the existence of that thing?
Yeah, because that's just your definition. I'm still waiting for the evidence. It's your burden to prove that that thing exists, and you can't even answer my basic question. You ask me, why does something exist rather than nothing, and I turn the question on you, why does God exist rather than not exist? And you can't answer.
True, but you can't answer why he doesn't, though, as well.
Oh, yes, I can. It's like super easy. Do you think God's all good?
Probably not.
Oh, so can I just get like what properties does God have? Does he exist outside of time?
I think so. So how I see it is we are basically a petri dish. and we are basically a bacteria in the petri dish, and we are trying to understand what's outside of the petri dish.
Is God the sustainer of us? Like, do we exist because God wills that we exist?
I don't know.
Okay,
I'm not
so
going
it
to
seems
pretend
like
like I can answer that. It's very confusing. It's not a.
Well, you just don't have
it's
like a definition of God, right? Like, I can't engage with these properties you literally haven't given me.
That's true, because the answer is very hard to.
Do you think God's all powerful?
I mean, probably. If we exist, then He has the power to create something, right?
But does God have the power to do everything?
He has the power to create whatever we are in. That's all I know.
What's the question that I asked you?
You asked me, is God powerful enough to create anything?
Yeah. So it's a yes or no. Is He powerful enough to create anything?
I mean, anything in this world, I guess so.
Not anything in this world. Anything.
Anything that exists in reality, yes.
That's. Are you like not hearing the question?
I'm trying my best.
I'm not asking you about like anything in reality. I'm asking you about like anything.
Probably.
Okay, perfect. So, does God have the power to make a rock that's so heavy He can't lift it?
I mean, I don't know what exactly that entails to if He actually exists, though.
Yeah, wait, just answer the. I'll show you, but just answer the question.
I don't know.
Okay.
I
well, so
can't
if God's all powerful, Brooke,
Yes.
thank you so much for the $10 for thanks, that's very kind. I appreciate your kind words. W Brooke in the comments section. If anybody else wants to support the stream, Cash App is allegedly Ian, Venmo is allegedly -Ian. Thank you so much, Brooke. I appreciate you. So if you think that God has the power to do anything, then that means that you would agree that God has the power to make a rock that He doesn't have the power to lift. Otherwise, He does not have the power to do anything.
But I don't know if He has the power to do anything. All I know is that He had the power to create whatever it is that we are in.
Okay, so you don't actually get any properties.
That's the only evidence that I have or you have.
I think that so what's your evidence that God actually did that?
Because we're here.
Yeah, so why couldn't we have arisen via natural processes?
But what is the natural? He is the natural process.
No, because God's definitionally supernatural.
I mean, come on. I'm making my own. You can make your own definition of what exactly God is.
No,
the universe
this isn't my definition. This is like the definition. God is definitionally supernatural.
Well, I want to know.
So wait. So if God's natural, what physical mechanism did God bring about life with?
We are not equipped to know that.
Oh, so then it's magic. It's not it's not natural. It's supernatural.
Look, in a way, the creation of the universe is supernatural, and that's the only thing that has been.
So then God is supernatural. So why would I believe that the universe came about supernaturally rather than just naturally?
That's not a question that we can answer.
No, it's like I'm asking you for an argument. Why would I believe your worldview when it's like a lot easier to just believe mine?
How is it easier to believe your?
Yeah, I'll break it down for you. Yeah, because my worldview says that like atoms exist, whereas your worldview says that like all atoms exist except carbon atoms, which instead are fairies who act exactly like carbon atoms and are just like freely choosing to act like carbon atoms just out of their own free will. Like, I don't know why I would add the imaginary friend that is God when I can just explain everything with the laws of physics.
Okay, how do you believe that the universe began?
I don't think the universe had a beginning.
Okay, so you don't believe in the Big Bang?
No, that's like the beginning of the universe as we currently know it, but the universe existed before that.
Okay, so how did the universe exist before the Big Bang?
Yeah, and like just a quantum hyper-condensed state.
Okay, and before that?
Yeah, so it went through a big crunch. So it like crunched back down, and then it rapidly expanded, and then in the future it's going to crunch back down, and then after that it's going to rapidly expand, and then after that it's going to crunch back down, and these cycles have just been going on forever.
Okay, and how did this crunch begin in the first place?
There's no beginning. It's been happening forever.
But what is forever? Where does forever exist? There has to be
in time. Like, I'm confused by the question. And so in the same way that like there's no like smallest number, because you can always just subtract one from it towards like negative infinity, which itself isn't a number. There's no starting point. It just has always been and will always be.
But I don't think that there is a way to prove that.
There is, yeah. It's called the quantum eternity theorem, which indicates that the universe has existed forever.
It's a theorem. It's a theory, but there is
no. Theorem.
There is no way to
not theory. Theorem.
Okay, it's a theorem.
Do you know what the difference between a theorem and a theory is?
Actually, no, and I don't think most people here like do. And I don't really
so
think
a theorem.
It matters.
A theorem.
It's a philosophical question at the end of
It's
the
not
day.
it's not a theory. It's a theorem. So a theorem is derived from a well-known, well-accepted law, and it's just a consequence of that well-known, well-accepted law.
I understand that, but I think this is
it's not a
question.
Theory.
It's a philosophical question and not a scientific one.
No, but because where the universe came from is it's a physics question.
I understand, but the universe.
You just said you just disagreed with that. What do you mean you understand?
But the universe is a physical thing. Am I right?
Yeah, it is.
And so it exists in a different.
You're stunned.
I am stunned because the question is stunning, and I've struggled with it for most of my life, and I still struggle with it. But I think that there has to be a creator in this thing that we are in. What exactly it is, I don't know, and I don't think you know as well.
Well, yeah, but I do know is the problem.
No, but
you can't substantiate your beliefs.
But look. I don't think anyone, when they go deep into this, can really substantiate their beliefs.
Yeah, well, yeah, so I can. So which part of my belief system can I not substantiate? You're stunned again. You have no idea.
Listen to me, of course, because I'm a thinking man and I'm trying to think. This is the hardest question humanity will ever answer, and you want me to be like, yeah, well, this is how it is.
Yeah, because you made a claim that I can't substantiate a part of my worldview. I just want to know what part of my worldview can I not substantiate.
You think that the universe has existed forever?
Yeah. So what's your critique of the quantum eternity theorem?
But how do you know that the universe has existed forever?
Yeah, because of the quantum eternity theorem.
Okay, explain to everyone why the quantum eternity theorem is 100% fact.
Yeah, because of the Schrodinger's equations, which are the most verified thing in like all of science. The Schrodinger's equations, which indicate that if there's a non-zero amount of energy in the universe, then that means that the universe exists forever and has existed forever.
Fair enough. The Schrödinger equations, they have proven that the universe has always existed, and that's just how it is. That's it. The universe has always, it's been an infinite thing, and...
Yep. You got a critique, or are we just doing fake laughter?
That's okay, but I think you know that the answer is much more complicated than that, and I don't think that
you have no
in our
critique.
lifetime we will actually have a proper answer to this, and that's one of the
I
saddest.
just gave you an
things
answer
about-
to it. You have no argument.
Nobody can argue with this.
I know, because it's true.
You can argue about it being the God in the Bible or the Quran or the Torah, but in terms of actually there being a creator of the universe, nobody can really argue with that.
The universe didn't have a beginning, which means there's no creator.
There is a beginning to everything.
Yeah, so what's your critique of the quantum eternity theorem?
There is a beginning to everything.
Yeah, but the quantum eternity theorem disproves that.
Then then that theorem is wrong.
Yeah, on what basis?
I will become a scientist and prove it for you.
Yeah, please. All right, do you have anything else?
That's basically it, man.
All right, well, I appreciate you coming on up here. Make sure you're double tapping on that screen. Let's get all the way up to 200K likes. Make sure you're dropping a follow if you never want to miss a single debate in the future. If you're in that guest request box, make sure that you're 18 or older and that you think God is real. If you don't do that, probably not going to talk to you for very long. Share it with your friends, do all that good stuff. If you want to join the community, go to discord.com/allegedlyian. Hey, what's up? How's it going?
Pretty good. Yourself?
Doing well. How old are you?
I'm 19.
Okay. What's your strongest argument for the existence of God that does not involve personal experience?
What I would like to go on is just in how long in history it has been around. It is one of the first things in history to be introduced, and there's just so many layers of society that have been based on religion. Like every society starting up, even going back as far as the Mesopotamians, I'm probably pronouncing that wrong, but they all have a religion that they followed, and the biggest one has been Christianity.
Yeah, so if you're just saying, if your appeal is just like, well, look at the history, the oldest book that we have in record is called the Diamond Sutra. It's a Buddhist book. So does that mean that Buddhism is true because the oldest book is a Buddhist book?
I'm not saying based on the books, rather being on the timeline of when they're...
Yeah, so Buddhism and Hinduism are way older than Christianity.
But there's also just so much that we also don't know too. There is a lot,
yeah, but so how does that? What do you think my point is, and how do you think that responds to it?
What I'm when I'm hearing that there are older books and stuff than Christianity books, that also Bible, it talks about the history of the stuff. Old Testament, it all talks about the beginning of time and the beginning.
Yeah, so my question was, what do you think my point was, and how do you think that responds to it?
I'm not really sure how you're trying to respond by saying...
No, I'm asking you what do you think my point was, and how do you think your response responded to it? Or were you not listening?
I was listening.
So could you mind summarizing my point?
The Judaism being... It wasn't Judaism, sorry. I just woke up. I haven't had my coffee yet.
You're chilling.
Yeah, so just with the Buddhism and stuff, that being one of the oldest books and being introduced in many ways, because Buddhism I forget where that one originates from.
It's Asia, I think. India. Yeah. No, India. Oh, I'm stupid. India. Well, but India is a part of Asia, so I'm not stupid. Let's go. Yeah, so your argument is just that it's Christianity has existed the longest or whatever, and I'm telling you that there's religions that are way older than it. So does that mean Hinduism is true because of how many societies have been founded on Hinduism, that Buddhism is true because of how many societies have been founded on Buddhism, and the fact that both of these are way older than Christianity?
I don't think... I struggle with religion, but it's not about me. My personal stand on it, though, is I think different societies have different religions based all around some central idea of religion. I know Buddhism is more on its separate path because that is more of an enlightenment path, if I remember correctly.
But it's like a supernatural metaphysics view of things as well, right? They believe in reincarnation, they believe in a soul, they believe in a higher plane of existence. They believe in lots of things that are not natural.
Yeah. And there's just so many different supernatural things to so many different religions. I personally believe in God, but I know that there's a lot of things between all religions that there is so many similar factors to them.
Yeah. That's fine. So I'll just give the argument for where religion arises. Religion seems to fill a psychological purpose of, one, helping people cope with the fact that we're all going to die, and two, explaining things which are hard to explain. There's plenty of examples throughout history of religions forming spontaneously just because a group of people didn't understand something. In ancient Greece, they didn't understand tides, so they invented Poseidon, didn't understand the sun, so they invented Apollo, didn't understand thunder, so they invented Zeus. They invent gods to explain things they don't understand. That's just true of all religions, that it serves psychological purposes, but that doesn't mean it's true.
I don't fully agree with you, but there is some points where I do agree with you. Yes.
Which part of that do you disagree with?
I do have a faith in a higher power, which is God, but I do also know that there are as you said, psychological needs for wanting to understand where we are in a society and wanting to know how things are created. So a lot in like Norse and mythology or all of that stuff, like with the Poseidon, Zeus and stuff. There's a lot of things as humans we want to understand that we don't, at the time they couldn't really understand, as the science that we have now didn't exist back then.
So you agree with all of what I just said?
All except the fact that I do believe there is a higher power. I think there's some things that in this world, there will be many people who we aren't fully capable of understanding, because the universe, all of it, everything is all connected somehow, and I do believe there's a beginning. I do believe there will be an end, and it's just...
Yeah, that's fine, but it seems like you're just not really engaging with the argument, right? So you said that like all societies are founded around religion. I explained where religion comes from, that it actually it isn't necessarily indicative of like some divine connection or anything like special at all, even. That religions just pop up because they help people feel better about life. And you said, well, yeah, that's like totally true, but not my religion. My religion's different. I'm asking you, why is your religion different? What makes your religion true that isn't true about like any of the other religions?
For that point, for me, I think it's more of just a faith and like just a faith in him, because in like the Bible, it talks about having faith in this, having faith in God, having faith in the Trinity, having faith in them. And it is like a leap of faith. And they're like, I just personally believe there is something there based on just my life choices. Like, I'm not trying to put you down for what you believe, because this is a debate. Like, we're just debating it.
Yeah.
And
yeah, so if I have faith that there's a bunch of spaghetti and meatballs in my car engine, does that mean that there's a bunch of spaghetti and meatballs in my car engine?
Well, I would hope not, because your car would not be running too great after
that. Yeah,
that.
exactly. So clearly faith isn't like a good method for arriving at conclusions. Faith is pretending to know something that you don't actually know. Why would you want to pretend to know something that you don't actually know?
Well, there is different things where a person's life they can learn more and more about God. And if like you choose to follow God, there is also different. I know I haven't done my full research into it yet, but because it's been a couple years since I've done a bit of more of my heavier research into the Bible and stuff, as I tried reading through it, different couple versions of it, just to understand it, because Christianity is a faith-based religion around it's a community. It is a community. That is the idea of it, and the idea of heaven and hell and all the stories of the Bible. It's just all has teachings for like a prophet.
Okay, I'm just not sure what to do with that. Like the Bible is like riddled with contradictions, full of things that are like inaccurate. It describes how life came about via not evolution, the dominant scientific theory supported by literally all of the evidence, but by God saying abracadabra, an event that we have literally never witnessed and will literally never witness ever again. So to me, that's like pretty compelling evidence that that's like probably just not the case.
Well, do we know that we won't see it again?
Well, we've never seen it in the first place, right?
Because we are short-lived. In the long run, humans are very short-lived.
So this is like
a lot of lost. There's a lot of lost pieces of history too, and there may be a chance we may never fully understand it, but I do believe there is a higher power.
Oh, yeah, but it just seems like there's no justification for that belief, that some beliefs have evidence and some beliefs don't have evidence. So I'm not sure why we would believe in the beliefs that don't have evidence when we could just believe in the ones that do.
There is some evidence of...
Yeah, what's the evidence? Let's hear it.
Biblical events.
Yeah, like what?
Great flood and everything, because...
Yeah, let's hear it. What's the evidence?
It's been a while since where I read it was from a book, Scientific Evidences of God, and
That sounds like a really neutral source. So could I just ask you a couple basic questions about the flood?
The flood. So in the Bible, that was the story of Noah and how he built a giant boat and everything, and
I'm familiar.
Purge of evil.
Yeah.
Correct?
Yep, you're chilling. Yeah. So how did if there was a flood that wiped out all life on Earth, how did the kangaroos get to Australia?
I don't really know exactly how that all played out.
Okay.
Obviously I'm not there, because in the Bible it states every single animal boarded due to a higher will calling them to this boat.
So how did they cross the stream in the first place? Did you think the kangaroos swam?
Well, what I'm also wondering too is actually...
Yeehaw! Thanks so much for the hat and mustache, Sarah. Appreciate that.
Pretty cool mustache, I'd say.
Yeah, I wish I could grow one like that.
Oh, well, growing mustaches are awful to do.
That's true.
But anyways, sorry, I'm just trying to think of how to word it. I just don't want to
Did
sound
God say abracadabra and bring the kangaroos there, and then say like alakazam and like send them back?
I think saying abracadabra wouldn't work.
I mean, that's essentially what you'd be thinking, just that God like teleported teleported them back.
That does feel a little like kind of making fun of it, almost like
he said like abracadabra and then made the world out of nothing. So like what you're essentially, the phenomena you're describing is magic, to be clear. Like this isn't like a scientific, God didn't use like specific laws of physics to create everything. He said alakazam and then the world like appeared out of nowhere.
Well, he made everything in the Bible. It says, "Let there be light."
Yeah, so he made it with magic.
And the first thing is, "Let there be light." A lot of people entail that being the world. It could also mean the universe. It can mean anything.
I thought it meant the sun.
How many suns? It could have been all the stars.
Crimsy, thank you so much for the subscription. W Crimsy in the comment section. Welcome to the community. I appreciate that. I mean, I just don't. But it feels like we're also like pivoting away from like the Noah's Ark, the flood story.
I'm sorry. About
so what's the explanation for how the kangaroos got to the Ark, and what's the explanation for how they got back?
Depending on the time, because I'm not too sure of the time. It depends on how the continents were connected. There was a point where all continents were connected.
Yeah, like 1 billion years ago, long before humans.
That's if you believe in the scientific way.
Yeah. I mean, science like produces like the phones that we're talking on, and produces the medicine that keeps us alive, produces like the lights, the electricity.
Oh yeah, I'm not saying that science is bad. I'm not saying the world is bad. I'm just
what's your critique of science, and then what's your methodology? How do you arrive at truth?
With science, I believe it is very helpful, obviously, to learn more about the human body, more about diseases, more about how to progress as a society, progress as the earth moves on, as we continue using resources, all of it. It all comes to a point to help us move forward as humans.
Yeah. So why would you, if science is like so great, why would you reject scientific explanations?
It's not so much as rejecting scientific explanations. It's just it's just something I have to look more into to understand better, because I do believe in the Bible and I do believe there is scientific ways in it. I know there are already some people out there working on stuff like even right now that I follow a bit, who are digging more into like the past and stuff, and these are like actual people who have gone to colleges and stuff to figure this out, because I don't really like following a lot of those TikTok people who are just baiting people more so.
Yeah, okay. I think maybe something that I'm wondering, right, is how long ago do you think the flood is? Because if it was like all connected, then it seems like Australia and like Hawaii and like the continents themselves should all be moving away from each other very quickly.
Sorry, could you repeat that?
Yeah. So you're essentially saying that all the continents were connected during the time of the flood. So from the end of the flood until today, the continents have been moving away from each other very quickly. Why do we not notice them still moving that quickly?
I'm not going to speak on that, not as something I don't believe in, just because I don't have enough knowledge to know about the current.
Do you have anything else for me, or should I just move on to the next guest?
I just don't want to be spreading misinformation about something I don't fully know yet.
Yep, and that's like totally understandable, but
but thank you for letting me chat. I hope you have a good rest of your day.
Yeah, you as well. Appreciate you coming on up here. Make sure you're double tapping on that screen, sharing it with your friends, doing all that other good stuff. Let's try to get this to 250k likes. We have like 1.4k people in here. If all of you left, I don't know, call it like 20, 30 likes. We'd be on our way. Hey, what's up, Xavier? How's it going?
What's up, bro? Going good. I just got a question, bro.
Yeah, what's your question?
So, do you just believe that we're just here just cause, or like, do you think it's reason that we're here?
Wait, what was the last part of your question?
I said, like, do you believe there's a reason that we're here, or do you think it's just here? We're just here to die, basically.
You asked like in an existential sense, like what do we live? Like, what's our purpose? What's our meaning?
Yeah, basically. Yeah.
Oh yeah, I think that we get to make our own purpose, and I think that that's a lot more meaningful than being like assigned a purpose by God. That under an atheist worldview, where you can create your own purpose, you can just like be your own individual. You can seek out your own truths. You can find your own passions and pursue them. Whereas under like a Christian worldview, what you actually have to do is like do everything God tells you to. You can't be an individual. You could be an automaton who serves God. And if you're not an automaton who serves God, then you get to get tortured forever. So I think the atheist worldview is full of like a lot more meaning than the Christian worldview is.
Okay, so you think that got like religion and all that is like control, basically.
Well, I mean, if it were true, it would like definitionally be control. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I see what you're saying. Yeah, no, I just wanted to know that. I ain't too much into the debate and all that, but.
Yep. Well, is that it?
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, I appreciate coming on up here then.
Nah, for sure, bro. I just be watching though, tuning in.
Yeah. Make sure you're double tapping on that screen, sharing it with your friends. If you want to support the stream, Venmo's allegedly-Ian. Cash App is just allegedly Ian. Appreciate any and all support. Thank you all so much. If you want to join the community, if you want to go be playing bingo right now, you can go join the community and play God Bingo with all the folks in the Discord right now. Discord is discord.com/allegedly-Ian. Hey, what's up? How's it going, guest? Cashflow, are you there? Okay. Yeah, but the Discord's great. We talk about politics, religion, philosophy. I notify you every time that I go live. You'll never miss a live because you will always be notified.
I've been watching God is Real for personality. You have to believe as a Christian because God created an earth to protect the people and love from evil. That's why I love God, because Jesus died from the cross. Sometimes people say
Hey, what's up? How's it going? How old are you? Jenny?
Hello.
Hello.
Hi, I'm sorry. I walked away from the phone. I mean, as soon as you...
You're chilling.
Yeah, how you doing?
Doing well, doing well.
Listen, you know, I probably don't belong here because you're looking for a Christian.
I'm looking for somebody with like stable religious views, with like a religious view that they could describe. Like if you have a conception of God, who has like defined properties, and I'm interested in this. But if you just like think like God is energy, or like God is like nebulous, then I'm not really interested.
If I can, if I understand you clearly, I think you used the word energy.
Yeah. If you think God is energy or like something nebulous like that, then I'm probably not interested.
No, I'm not going to say anything like that.
So could you give me like a definition of God?
I cannot. So I don't know if I'm in the right spot.
Yeah, probably not. But I do appreciate you coming on up here. Yeah. But keep on double tapping on that screen, doing all that good stuff. Hey, what's up? How's it going? No? Are you leaving? You running already? You gotta be on the app if you're... I can't hear you if you're off the app, by the way. Hello? You there? Well, can't hear you. Keep on double tapping on that screen, sharing it with your friends. Hey, what's up? How's it going? Hello? Master Nobby, are you there? Oh no. Hey, what's up? How's it going?
Yes, can you hear me?
Yeah, how old are you?
I am 20. I just turned 34 yesterday.
Okay, what's your strongest argument for the existence of God that does not involve personal experience?
So before, I'm not being, rude. I'm trying to understand your question. Do you think God is an actual person, or what do you think, he's a spiritual person?
I don't think God exists, so I'm not really sure how to answer that.
So if you're asking for proof, how can I prove that a spiritual being is real? I can't go take a picture of him and bring him back and say, oh, here's God, he's real. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah. So I think that there's like a number of like compelling options. So you could give like a philosophical argument. I love those. You could give me like historical evidence. I think that's cool too. You could give me like scientific evidence. That's rad.
That's pivoting away from your question. Are you asking if
Not
the
at all,
Bible is
no.
real or if God is real? Because that's two different.
So if the Bible were real, if the Bible were true, that would mean that God exists. But
right.
yeah. So
no
if you can
one
prove that
has
the
to
Bible's
hide.
real, that means God exists. But if you prove God exists, that also proves that God exists.
But-
So it's up to you. I leave it open ended.
Once again, do you think he's an actual person or a
I don't think God exists, so I can't really. So it's like asking me like what color are the Tyrannosaurus rexes in your room right now? Like I just can't really answer the question, right? Like there aren't Tyrannosaurus rexes in my room right now.
I get it. So you're asking a question that you're asking prove that God is real, but Christians believe that he's a spiritual being. We don't believe he's an actual person, like how I can see you. So how can somebody prove that God is real? If we can't,
with
I
like
can't bring
philosophy
him. I
or
can't say, "Hey,
arguments or
God."
like evidence or like historical evidence, scientific evidence.
You cannot prove a spiritual being is what I'm trying to say.
With philosophy, you certainly could, or with like science, you could probably prove like the Bible. With historical evidence, you can prove the Bible.
It's something. It's just like how a Buddhist believes that so they pray to an object, right?
Not
So,
really.
Well, they do. They don't. They don't believe in I'm not a Buddhist, so correct me if I'm wrong. But faith is something that you can't see. So I believe in God. I've never seen it myself. But when I die, I guess that would be my evidence, right? So I can't die and come back and say, hey, Ian, I got proof that he's real. I died and I came back. You get
That's
my
fine.
point?
So it sounds like you can't
Yeah.
prove that God is real, and that's fine. I can prove that God isn't real. But
Nobody can though. So you can interview a million people. No one's gonna.
can
give
I?
you-
So no, that's totally fine. Totally
One
fine.
second. Hold on. Wait. Just
Because you're just like giving me like a lot of
In the
reasons
end-
why you're not going to give an argument. So let me give you an argument why God
because I
isn't
can't-
real.
I mean, can you? Okay. Can you approve that a ghost is real? Can you?
I don't
take a
think
picture of a
ghosts are
ghost?
real.
Oh right.
So,
that's-
okay.
So you're asking us to prove something spiritual.
Yes, with like
physically
there's like a
see it.
long
That's
history of
insane.
like philosophical argumentation for why God is real. I think anybody
But
could read
there's
up on like
also no
the Kalam
proof for it.
cosmological
There's
argument or like the transcendental argument or like fine tuning or
nobody
like
on this
any number of
has evidence
arguments for why
proving
God
the
is
Bible.
real.
No one can prove the Bible because we weren't alive 2,000 years ago. We believe
Okay.
it's faith. It's
Hey,
faith.
so
So-
okay, wait, and I'm sorry because there's so it's okay. If God is all good, all powerful, and all knowing, why would He allow for unjustifiable evils in the world?
Once again, it's faith. So I believe that there's
Faith?
a God. I don't-
Can you tell me what
Yes,
question
I
I
don't-
just asked you?
You're asking me why does God allow evil? So
Yeah.
I can tell you that, but because you don't believe what's in the Bible, I mean, what's the point of even? I mean, I cannot prove to you. I can't say, okay, here's God. Here, Ian, ask God, and He's going to tell you why. He allows.
Yeah. So you could
You're
definitely
asking a question that can't be answered. So
you can definitely you
in the end, you win the argument
can
because you actually
appeal.
have proof that God isn't
You
real.
can appeal
You
to the
have
Bible for the sake of this internal critique. You can appeal to the Bible. You're allowed to.
But
When I
there's
ask
no
you that
physical
question,
evidence
I
that
also don't
things in
think
the
God
Bible
is
are
real, but it's called like an internal critique, right? So I'm showing you a contradiction in your worldview, which means that we're operating within your worldview, which means you have access to the Bible to answer that question.
Well, Ian, okay, this is the thing. You can tell me that you believe that. So let's just say your God is a turtle, right?
I don't think
You can
God
prove that.
exists.
Right. You don't think he exists, but Christians, he to us, he's a spiritual being. You cannot prove a faith. Faith is things that are not seen.
Why are you
How can I
here?
prove something to you that isn't seen?
Why are you here?
But I mean, you're going to keep asking everybody.
You're
but
stunned.
then
Why are you
with an
here?
argument.
Evan, thank you
I'm
so
here
much
to
for the
tell you
$6.66 on Venmo. W7 W666 W Satan
No
Hail
one can
Satan.
pull God from the sky.
Wait, I just so why
Nobody
would
can pull
you?
him from the sky and
It's
show you.
this is titled debates. We've been doing debates all day. I'm just confused why you would join if you're not here to
You can't
argue.
debate something with no evidence.
Wait, so then why are you here? Then why are you here?
To tell you that your question is insane. No matter how many people you
Oh.
ask, no, you're going to win every time. So that's unfair.
Okay,
Is this
perfect.
for,
Well,
like,
I mean, I
ego
accept your surrender. You're just like it seems like you're just giving like a
boost your
nuanced
ego or
reason for why you're coping. You're being a coping Corey
is
right
this to, like,
now.
boost your ego? Yeah, I am.
Wait, which
because
part of
you're trying to
this?
ask me to prove. You're trying to ask me to prove that basically a ghost is real.
Wait, so let's
prove that.
let's go step by step. Let's go step by step. Do you think God is perfect?
Yes, yeah, because I'm really trying to really trying to see where
Do you
can
think
anybody alive
God?
get evidence that
Let's
he's
wait,
wrong.
wait. Let's just go step by step. Do you think God is perfect?
I think he's perfect.
Yeah.
Yes, I think that God is, but
Yeah.
but once again, that's my
Yeah, no,
belief.
I understand that, which is why I'm asking you about your beliefs. That's what the point of questions are,
Yes, I
right?
absolutely do. Yes,
so
sir. I
can
believe
a
that God
perfect being ever do imperfect things?
No,
Okay.
no.
Cool. So everything.
I don't think that God can do imperfect things. No.
Yep. So everything God does is perfect. So God created the perfect world.
I mean, does this world? I mean, do you think this world is perfect? Absolutely not. But once again,
No,
it's
I
faith.
certainly
Faith is
don't, but
something that
if-
Christians use to cope with. You use other things to cope with, right? I use my faith.
Yeah, well, I mean, I use like
and
dealing with
force my faith
problems to
onto you.
cope. I use like acceptance
Exactly.
of
There
like
you
my
go.
mortality,
So
my
I
own
can't- so
mortality.
I can't force something. I cannot force my
Wait,
faith
let's
onto you because
let's not
you
be a
go by
pivoting
things that are
parry.
physical. I can't
Let's
show
not
them to
let's
you.
not be a
I can't.
pivoting parry.
I know,
Let's
I'm
just
not
engage with the
pivoting.
argument.
No, I'm not pivoting.
You are
I'm not
because
pivoting. I
we have
cannot prove him to you.
we have a contradiction.
Nobody. Do you know anybody on
Wait,
this
you're being
line
a
that
pivoting
can have physical evidence that
parry.
God is real?
Yeah, Darth Dawkins fucking demolished me last night. I got humiliated by Darth Dawkins.
That nobody
Darth
on
Dawkins
this
could
live
prove it, I
can answer
bet.
your question. Nobody
Yeah.
on this live can answer your question.
Wait, so
Sorry.
it seems like you walked into a contradiction already, that you think everything God does is perfect, but you think that God did not create a perfect world.
I do. Once again, I do. I'm not. I can't prove that to you.
Yeah, but does it bother you that there's a
How
that
can
you
I
believe
prove
like contradictory things?
No.
Okay, so it doesn't bother you that you believe contradictory things.
It doesn't bother me. I believe in God. That's my faith. But I cannot push that onto you or prove because I can't see him. You can't see him.
Yeah, if you're
No
fine
one else can
believing,
see. Well,
if
you
you're
don't-
fine
you don't
believing
believe in him.
nonsense,
But
then you're
nobody
welcome
else on
to. I just don't think that's a very good way to live your life.
Right. Thank you. Yes. So everybody is entitled to their own belief, but nobody can prove it to you because you only believe in physical things.
I believe
evidence
in
that you can
I believe in
touch,
logical things. Above all else, I believe in logic.
Thank you. Logical. So is a spiritual being logical?
Could be.
Could I? Oh wow! So I can go take a picture of him and show him
No,
to
that's physical is not the same thing as
Oh, no, no, no,
logical,
no, no,
right?
no,
So
no,
physical is like something that's like material,
doesn't
whereas
matter.
logical
You're
just means like
asking
in
for
line with the
proof.
laws of
We're
logic.
asking for somebody, so I can say that I see.
That's not what I'm asking for.
How am I
You're being a straw manning Steve right now. That's not what I'm asking for.
Doesn't matter. It
A
makes sense, though,
gaslighting
because
Gary.
You're asking us to prove. No, you're a gaslighting because nobody can prove that something that we can't see is real, and that's just the bottom line.
Well, yeah, you can. I mean, we can't see gravity, but we can observe its effects. Right? Like I can
but
prove
there's
gravity right
evidence for
now.
that.
It's
There's
wow, look at
evidence,
that.
Right. Thank you. Yes, evidence for gravity.
Yeah,
Is there
yeah, and there's no
that
evidence
God
for
is
God. I'm glad we can agree. So, do you have anything else? Otherwise, I'll move on to the
Right.
next guest.
But I cannot prove to you. Nobody on this live is going to prove that to you. So
Oh,
you keep
cool.
asking the same question for an ego boost because
Then I guess I'll keep on folding them like a chair, scrambling
Right,
like
thank
an
you.
omelet,
And your
peeling
question
them
is
like
stupid because
grapes,
nobody can prove it.
buckling
keep
them like
asking the same
belts,
question and you're never gonna
gulping
you're never
them like
gonna have your
juices.
answer.
Do you have anything else for me, or should I move on to the next guest?
Move on to the next, but you're not gonna get your answer.
Yeah, well, appreciate you coming on up here. Keep on double tapping on that screen, sharing it with your friends, doing all that good stuff. I don't know. I think like lots of Christians, like all the Christian philosophers, would probably take issue with the notion that there's like no way to prove it. I think that like anybody who's like actually seriously engaged with the topic would probably disagree with this. If you want to support the stream, Venmo's allegedly dash Ian. Cash App is just allegedly Ian. I appreciate any and all support. Hey, what's up? How's it going?
Hello. Nothing much. I was just hearing your conversation with the other person. So you were talking about God not being only making perfect decisions, right? And
Yeah, wait, so does God only do perfect things? Does God ever do imperfect things?
Oh yeah, yes, he does.
Oh, are you Christian?
Yes, I'm Christian.
Straight to super hell. That's like super heretical. That's like directly contradictory with the Bible. It says God's way is perfect.
I said God's way is perfect. I said yes.
Yeah. Oh, wait, I thought you said that God does do imperfect things.
No, I said he does perfect things, only perfect.
Oh, yeah, sure. So everything God does is perfect. Perfect. Yeah,
Yeah.
awesome. So did God create perfectly?
Could you repeat that again? I didn't.
Did God create perfectly?
Did God create perfectly?
Yeah.
What do you mean by that?
God created. Did he do it perfectly?
When he created everything?
Yeah.
Oh yes, he did.
Yeah, okay, cool. So then creation was perfect.
Yeah, creation was perfect when he created
Okay,
everything.
perfect, awesome. So if creation is perfect, do you think it's still perfect?
Right now?
Yeah.
No, it's not because of what we did.
Oh, okay, and what did we do?
So, if we go back to Adam and Eve, they were in the garden, okay? There was they had free will, so they were able to be with God and be and eat from the tree of life and live forever. But they chose otherwise, and they started to eat from. I think it was Eve. I'm actually not sure. I don't know where.
Were Adam and Eve created perfect?
they had free will.
Were they created perfect?
Yes, until they made it until they made themselves unperfect.
Awesome. Yeah. So, would they have been better? Would they have been like more perfect if they had not made themselves unperfect?
Well, yes.
Oh, so you think that they could have been more perfect?
Yes, but they did have free will, so they could be perfect forever, but they chose to eat from the tree of knowledge and made themselves unperfect.
Yeah. So, do you agree that there's nothing better than perfection? That perfection is like just the peak?
If we are only talking about perfection, yes. I think.
Yep. Yeah. So there's nothing better than perfection, but Adam and Eve were created perfect, but there was a better version of Adam and Eve. Because nothing's better than perfection, that means that Adam and Eve actually were not created perfect.
Yeah, I do understand what you mean, but because they had free will, they were able to choose, because God could make us only worship Him and that's it. But then that would not be a loving God. Okay.
Okay. Wait. So there's just like a couple premises here, and you need to reject one, otherwise you need to accept the conclusion. So that nothing's better than perfection. There was something. There was a better version of Adam and Eve, and then the conclusion is just that Adam and Eve were not perfect.
So,
we're not created perfect.
Wait. I didn't make myself clear. I'm sorry. So they were perfect, but they also had free will.
Mm-hmm.
Perfection was them being with God forever and not disobeying God, which they did. But they could God could also make them just completely. I don't know how to explain this correctly. So He could make them just worship Him and not even place the tree.
Yeah. So I just need you to reject like one of the two premises. So either that you either need to say that there is something better than perfection, or you need to acknowledge that Adam and Eve were not created perfectly.
Oh, okay. Okay. I do understand what you mean, but how can I answer that? So they were. Oh, damn. Okay, damn. Wait, can I think about it 1 sec?
Yeah. Take a second to think about it. HOTTOGO. You can take me hot to go. HOTTOGO.
Okay, I think I have my answer.
Can take me hot to go. Yeah, what's up? Let's do it.
So I think I have my answer, but I don't know if it's correctly. Okay?
Yeah. So which of these two would you reject?
So I don't think they were completely perfect to the 100%, because they did have free will and were able to eat from the tree of knowledge and disobey God. But if they were completely perfect and not even be able to have that free will and eat from the tree of knowledge, God would not be loving and not would give them the choice to be with Him or without Him. So that He was not forcing them to be with Him, okay? Because our God is loving and He gave them a free will and a choice. Do you want to be with me, or do you not want to be with me? And they chose not to be with Him because they ate from the tree.
So then God made them imperfectly.
Not. What do you mean by imperfectly? That
so they had flaws, basically. Like God made your perfect creator who always does everything perfectly made something imperfect.
Well, if you take it into exactly how you're saying it, yes, it would be not He making something that's imperfect, but He did give us the free will. You gotta understand that one doesn't correlate to the other. Okay, if you have one, it would make God not even be all loving, because he gave us a choice, and because He gave us a choice, we were able to choose: do you want to be perfect or not? It's kind of hard to explain.
Does a perfect being always do the most good thing?
The most good thing?
Yeah.
Well, yes, He does.
Yeah. Okay. So that means God always does the most good thing. Would it have been better for God to have made them more perfect?
Well, actually, when you started to say good, when he does God make everything all good, then it makes more sense, I think, because since he made them all good, he also made them giving them the free will to, because he's a loving God, choose to be with him or not to be with him. Do you understand what I mean?
No, this doesn't interact with the question at all. So if God always must do the best thing, he must always do the perfect thing, then how does God create imperfectly?
I don't know how to answer that. I do have it in my head, but I don't know how to explain it. I'm sorry.
That's okay.
But if we don't know how to answer this argument, I would have a question to atheism.
Yeah. What's your question to atheism?
So, if we don't have a God, how can we make because we say God is perfect, how can we make a rule to saying something, for example, me beating someone up in the street would be wrong because it's my nature. I was angry and I murdered someone or did something to someone because I just felt like it. How can you say something is wrong if you don't have something something that's perfect? Say it's wrong or it's right.
Yeah, because we have other objective standards. Suffering is objectively bad in the same way that the sky is objectively blue. Suffering is qualitatively experienced as bad in the same way that blue is qualitatively experienced, or the sky is qualitatively experienced as blue. From this fact, we can imagine ourselves as like outside observers in our actions, and we can think about doing the action that minimizes the amount of suffering in the world. So you can say that beating somebody up in the streets is bad because it causes an awful lot of suffering.
But how can you say that suffering itself is bad?
Because in the same way that blue is qualitatively blue, like it's self-evident in the phenomenological experience of it, that when we look at the sky, it's blue. That blue is blue, or that the sky is blue. We know suffering is bad because it's experienced as bad, in the same way we know the sky is blue because it's experienced as blue.
Okay. I do understand that. Okay.
Yep. So that's how I get my morality.
Okay. Do you believe that? Do you believe in some type of God?
No.
So you just believe that, but even the Big Bang was not eternal. So how did it create?
No, I believe in infinite cycles of big bounces and big crunches. My worldview doesn't require a God at all. I think the universe has just always existed.
But hasn't the scientists proved that?
No, it's proven the opposite way, that the Schrodinger's equations seem to indicate that the universe has always existed.
But don't we say that it happened a bang? Like
that's like the start of like the universe as it currently exists, but I would posit that the universe goes through infinite cycles of big bounces and big crunches.
Okay.
That this was like just like the start of our like big bounce.
Okay. I don't really have nothing to say. I just have one more question. When you say God is real, do you only mean so does this life only go to like Christian people or also Islam and Muslim?
Yeah, well, it goes to the Abrahamic God. In terms of like a generic God, like is it possible that there was a creator? I mean, it's possible there was a creator. I just have no evidence of one.
Okay.
But I would say that the Christian God affirmatively does not exist, and the Muslim God affirmatively does not exist, and the Jewish God affirmatively does not exist.
Okay. Yeah, I don't have anything else to say, I think.
Yep, well, appreciate you coming on up here.
Yeah, thank you. Bye.
All right, bye-bye.
Bye.
Hey, keep on double tapping on that screen. Let's get this live in front of as many people as we possibly can. Make sure you keep on double tapping on that screen. Let's keep on running it. I'm having a good time. I hope everyone else also is having a grand old time as we go to the very next guest. But if you want to support the stream, Venmo's allegedly -Ian. The Cash App is just allegedly Ian. I appreciate any and all support. Thank you all so much. How's it going, Ominous? What's up? I accept your surrender. Folded like a chair. scrambled like an omelet, buckled like a belt, peeled like a grape, gulped like a juice, pet like a dog. I accept your surrender. But yeah, share the live with your friends. Drop a comment as well. Hey, I accept your surrender. Folded like a chair, scrambled like an omelet, peeled like a grape, buckled like a belt, pet like a pet, gulped like a juice. I did not get the video of me with Darth Dawkins, but God, he looked so crazy. What's up, Evan? How's it going?
Hello, I'm good. How are you?
Yeah, how old are you?
I am 26.
Okay. What's your strongest argument for the existence of God? Hi, Abby. What's your strongest argument for the existence of God that does not involve personal experience?
My strongest argument for the existence of God would be the existence of myself. I think that looking at reality through like an atheistic viewpoint, basically, if I were to have come about without a God, it would be random combinations of molecules somehow bumping around into each other.
It's not like random, right?
Until
Like
it created this.
there's like chemistry laws, of course.
Yeah, of course, there's laws, but it still seems like a very slim probability that they would
yeah, that's
congeal
fine.
in such a way that. What's that?
I'm just saying that like that's fine. Like insofar as the world was permissible for the formation of life, and that life is like, I think the universe we live in is more in line with the hypothesis that life is a natural phenomena that comes about via an unlikely series of events of growing complexity. Essentially, that in order for life to form, you need to develop two components: self-replication and metabolism, and that there's like some molecules who will develop like the self-replication part of it, and there's like some molecules that will develop like a metabolism. But when a molecule develops that has both of these parts, then that's a life form, or at least it's like a protocell, and it evolves into like a fully fledged cell, which is a life form. So we have like natural mechanisms for all of this. I'm not sure. Whereas like, and we can observe all of this, whereas we can't observe God saying like abracadabra and then life poofed into existence.
Right, that makes sense. Yeah, it just seems like it's very slim probability to me. I mean, even like our human body, it's so complex. The way that it functions, it seems like there had to have been some kind of intelligent force that created it rather than via random coagulations of molecules. And I know there are laws, but even the laws seem to have been created almost in a way so that it was intelligently designed for this to all come about.
No, not at all. So there's a lot of reasons why intelligent design makes no sense at all. But I think like the existence of like vestigial organs, for example, these organs that only make sense under evolution, like things like the tailbone that serve no purpose for our survival, but make sense if you understand them as like something that one of our ancestors used for like something that actually did help with their survival, that is like slowly getting phased out of the population. There's just like a lot of things, and vestigial organs are present in like all creatures. This makes sense under evolution, but no sense under intelligent design. There's the existence of like gratuitously evil species like the Lualua worm, which only exists by burrowing into the eyes of children and then making them blind. I'm not sure why an all-loving, intelligent God would allow for the existence of that worm.
Yeah, from my paradigm, I'm not like a creationist, like a fundamentalist creationist Christian. I don't really believe in that. I don't think that intelligent design and evolution necessarily have to be separate from each other.
Okay, so what's the intelligent design behind the Lualua worm?
Can you describe it to me again?
Yeah, it burrows into the eyes of children as like a key part of its life cycle and then bursts out of their eyes, making them blind.
Oh, wow. I've never heard of such a thing. Well, I mean, nature, there's a lot of horrendous and disgusting creatures in nature that try to kill us at every opportunity that they can. So it's not something that's
Yeah, so it seems like this is very in line with evolution. This is not in line with like a God who loves us, who intelligently designed these things. Like, why? What purpose in God's like greater plan does the Lua Lua worm serve?
Well, from my perspective, I believe more so in karma, and that this realm is kind of for our own ability to learn. I don't believe in the heaven and hell paradigm of Christians. I think that there's other dimensions, other astral planes, and this realm is kind of like almost purgatorial in a way. So it's not designed to be perfect. You know, we learn through suffering. We learn to love through pain and suffering. And
What
so
do you
things
what
like
do you think
that,
what do you think like a newly blind kid learns?
a newly blind kid that's
Like a kid who has their vision like ripped away from them because of like these parasites. What do you think they learn from that?
Well, that's not for me necessarily to say because I've never experienced such a thing, but I don't
Do you
think
think
that
that-
there's
No, I'm sorry.
I don't think that it's I don't think that there's necessarily nothing to be learned from negative experiences such as that.
Okay. Do you think that? Could you give me like a moral critique of like gouging someone's eyes out?
Well, a moral critique, we're speaking of something that doesn't have human intelligence. It's a worm that's operating off of, it's something that it doesn't have like a sense of self. There's no me, there's no I, there's no moral code for the worm. It's just operating off of its evolutionary functions.
Yeah, and this is expected under like naturalism, whereas this is unexpected under theism. What this seems to implicate to me is that if I like went and like gouged somebody's eyes out, they would like learn. So there would be we would classify both like it as bad, but I think you'd be forced to say to remain logically consistent that there's like some level of good in that it like teaches them something. Whereas I'm free to say no, that's like super fucked up bad in like by like literally every metric.
Yeah, I mean, I guess maybe we should discuss a different point because I've never experienced something such as that where I've been robbed of one of my faculties by nature. So I can't really speak on that. Maybe somebody that has experienced that could expound upon it constructively, but I can't.
Yeah, that's like that's totally chill. Yeah, for sure. So, but that does seem to me to be like very strong evidence that we were not intelligently designed. Do you have I think that this is evidence that evolution without an intelligent designer is true, and it's evidence that like intelligent design via evolution is probably not true. Do you have like a different argument for why God exists?
A different argument for why God exists.
Otherwise, I can make an argument for why he doesn't exist if you want.
Sure, go ahead.
Yeah, just that if God is all good, all powerful, and all knowing, that he would not allow for gratuitous, unnecessary evils to exist.
Okay. He wouldn't allow for that to exist?
Yeah, but they do exist, which means that I would like conclude that God definitely doesn't exist.
Well, I do believe that we have the ability to choose. We have choice, and we can choose between good and evil. I think that for God to destroy evil, for God to say there's no such thing as evil and it's not allowed, then God destroys your ability to choose for yourself between the two. And so if there's no choice, then
could you tell me what choice is involved in like being unalived by an earthquake?
So we're talking about, again, going to like naturalistic terms rather than like...
Do you want like strictly human terms? But because I think earthquakes are evil, and I think they're incompatible with the existence of an all-loving, all-good God who designed the world.
Well, I still I kind of believe in karma as well. So I think that I also believe in reincarnation. So I think that, some things that happen in past lives can carry over into present lives that may seem to be inexplicable from this life's standpoint, but maybe from a different lifetime, it was warranted.
So you're saying that people, like bad people, are reincarnated and then they suffer in their current existence?
It's possible, yes.
Do you think that accounts for all suffering? That all suffering is deserved in that you did something wrong in a past life?
That's a possibility, yes. I can't say definitively whether it is or not, but I think that could help explain the nature of reality.
Okay, so if that were the case, then wouldn't it also be the case that any time a kid gets raped, for example, that they deserved it because they it only happened to them because they did something wrong in a past life? Wouldn't that be the conclusion, that every evil thing that happens was deserved?
Possibly, yes.
So in this view, you would agree that any kid who gets raped deserved it?
I wouldn't, it's not for me to say personally. I wouldn't say, oh yes, that person deserved it. I'm just saying it's a possibility from that standpoint that there was something karmic there that created that. Maybe in the past life, the kid was the rapist.
Yo, so then in that sense, they did deserve it. But it's like karma, that every time a kid gets raped under this worldview, it's deserved and karmic.
I mean, I'm not sure that it's an absolute. I wouldn't speak in absolute terms that yes, they deserved it. Perhaps they didn't deserve it. Perhaps they were innocent.
I mean, I don't know. I think the answer for me is pretty easy. Obviously they didn't deserve it. It's a kid.
Yeah.
So to me, that's just the reductio, right? That there's that's an absurd conclusion to say that anybody deserves it.
I'm not saying that anybody deserves it. I'm just saying that it's a possibility.
If you believe in reincarnation, could you give me a reason why murder is bad?
Give you a reason why murder is bad?
If we all are just reincarnated, why is murder bad?
Well, because obviously you chose to be here. If we were reincarnated, the soul chose to be in this dimension. And so you ending that person's life was...
But it's not an end to life, right? There's no end here. They just get reincarnated.
Yeah, it wouldn't put an end to the soul, but it would put an end to the physical body.
Yeah, and why is that bad?
Well, because it's putting an end to... Maybe there was things that they came here to do. Maybe there was lessons to be learned, or things that they came here to do, and putting an end to that.
Could they just learn that in their next reincarnation?
Sure, possibly.
Okay, well then what's the problem?
I mean, obviously, I don't think that inflicting pain or suffering on anybody is a good thing. So it's not something that should be done to another.
Yeah. So let's say that it's completely painless, that it's an instant death.
Completely plain.
Yeah. Let's say that we there's a person in the desert isolated, and we drop a nuke on them. They get evaporated instantly. No pain, no suffering. What's wrong with that?
I don't think that it should be within my power to bring an end to somebody else's existence. Why should that be within my domain to say who can exist and who can't exist?
There's no end to existence, though, because they're just reincarnated. That's the point, right? That if reincarnation is real, then there's no reason why killing somebody is bad.
Something to think about.
Yeah. Do you have anything else for me? Otherwise, I'll move on to the next guest.
Yes, one thing I would like to ask you about, from the perspective of atheism, do you believe in free will?
Me personally, I don't, but some atheists do. I think that free will is probably the most like philosophically bankrupt idea, and maybe all of philosophy, that it's like there's just no justification for it. All the arguments for free will are like, well, it feels an awful lot like we have free will, so I guess we have free will.
Okay. So you basically believe that you're subject to the interactions of your molecular biology. You have no ability to choose?
I think that everything either arises via deterministic interactions or indeterministic interactions. Either way, I don't have free will. Okay, let me put it like this. So I can do the thing that I will. So if I will to go and like drink a glass of water, I can go and drink a glass of water. I can't will what I will. I can't like make myself want a different thing. Like I can do the things that I desire to do, but I can't choose what I actually desire. My desires just exist, and I can't do anything about that.
You can't do anything about it. So you're saying that you can will what you will, but you can't choose. I'm trying to understand this.
You can will what you, or you can do what you will, but you can't will what you will.
You can do what you will, but you can't will what you will. So from that perspective, then, if there's no free will and you can't will something into existence, then how are we to choose? How are we to stop each other from killing each other? You know, is there some biological mechanism then that comes into play?
Yeah, there's like lots of evolutionary reasons why we would be averse to murder. We live in like very complex social societies and structures. Morality is like almost certainly like an evolutionary feature. Lots and lots and lots and lots of evolutionary reason why murder is bad, right? So let's say that you and I are living in a tribe. We're tribe A. We don't murder each other. Instead, we like work well together as a team. Tribe B, people are running around murdering each other. And you know, like Bob murders Jerry, and Jerry is the person who got all of the fish. So now the tribe doesn't have fish. So then tribe B dies off, whereas we survive because we didn't murder each other.
Okay. But you were saying before that your morality is based off of qualitative experience, correct? Like that suffering.
Yeah. I think that there's like suffering qualia, or there's like badness qualia in the experience of suffering. Yeah.
Suffering feels bad qualitatively, therefore it is bad. What about then from that perspective that maybe the murderer has some kind of good feeling? Like there's these serial killers have like a like some kind of visceral like enjoyment from killing somebody.
Mm-hmm. I don't associate
your methodology.
Yeah, and I hear you. So there's like two things here. First, and I think most importantly, I don't accept that like pleasure is like goodness qualia. I just accept that suffering is badness qualia. That this is like, I think I'm still figuring out what I consider to be good specifically, because I don't think it's pleasure. Like, I don't think if you do something that's like just solely pleasurable that you're like inherently doing a good thing. But there is like some level of like, I know I believe in like some things that are affirmatively good. Like, you know, I think that it would be morally right if stubbing my toe caused a random person in the world to live a happy, fulfilling life. I would think it's like super immoral to not go over and stub my toe. But I'm still working out what I think like goodness specifically is, but I feel very confident that badness is suffering.
Okay. All right. That's valid. Yeah, this is something that one of my main issues with atheism is the free will thing. Like, I just can't. If there was no soul or no seat of the will, I would have a difficulty reconciling in my mind that we don't have like the ability to choose. We're just at the whim of our biology, which I suppose the biology is intelligent in itself. Like, how does that work? Does nature possess some kind of inherent intelligence where it's self-organizing, that we've come to the point where we have these super advanced societies? Like,
I'm not really sure I understand. We just evolved and then we got complex because that's what evolution does.
Yeah, but there's no inherent intelligence within the mechanisms of biology that allowed for such a thing to take place.
Yeah,
it's like self-organizing somehow.
So, it's just going to be based on the principle that things that are good at surviving and reproducing are going to survive and reproduce. Things that are bad at surviving and reproducing are not going to survive and reproduce. Or at least, like, I'm making like a likelihood claim that it's like less likely or more likely that things are going to survive and reproduce if they're good at doing that or bad at doing that. That's my claim, right? That some things are good at it, some things are bad at it. And that because that they're going to, on average, all things considered, they're going to survive and reproduce or not survive and reproduce, which means that they're not going to spread their genetics if they have genetics that aren't conducive towards survival and reproduction.
Okay. And that's just some mechanism inherent within our biological makeup it's just there. It's not...
It's like kind of, it's not like in our biological makeup, it's just like a logical principle, right? Like it's like analytic. It's just based on like, it's like definitionally true. If you are good at surviving and reproducing, then you are more likely to survive and reproduce. Some traits are good at surviving and reproducing, so those traits are going to be more likely to survive and reproduce.
Yeah, it's conceptual. Like conceptually, it makes sense, but I'm speaking like from like a fundamental evolutionary perspective. Like, how do these things? What is the means? What is the mechanism by which these things come about? If there was no, it's just inherent in the biological makeup. It just.
I'm not sure I understand the question.
I'm not sure I understand either. Like, I'm just trying to wrap my mind around how our society and our morality and everything is born solely out of our biology.
Like, what about it? We live in complex social structures, like lots of prey animals with complex social structures. Also, oh wait, I forget what I was going to say. Just that, like, we have complex social structures, basically. That there's like evolutionary reasons why we would do this.
Okay.
That highly intelligent prey animals often live in like complex social structures.
Yeah. Okay. Maybe somebody else, maybe a biologist could better explain it to us, because I don't think either of us understand deeply enough into like the biological perspective of why that would happen. But anyway, I'm going to let somebody else hop up in here. Good chatting with you.
Yeah, it was good chatting with you as well. Yeah.
Yep.
Oh, sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. But yeah, I appreciate you coming on up here. If you never want to miss a stream in the future, make sure you join the Discord community. There's a link to the Discord in my bio. We're doing community night tonight. Only join if you're 18 or older. You need to copy and paste the link into the Discord app directly. You can also join with the Discord / allegedly Ian. That's another way that you can join. You can play bingo every single time we go live. But I'd love to see you at community night tonight. And I notify you. It's a great place to meet people, talk to people. I hang out in VC all the time. I was hanging out in VC for a couple hours just last night. But yeah, I'm probably going to call it for the night, but make sure you drop a follow if you never want to miss a debate in the future. I'll send you over somewhere. Let me figure out where I'm sending you over. I think I'm probably going to send you over to Dean. Dean is live on Hi, I'm Dean. You should go follow and raid Dean. But I love all of you. Thank you so much for spending this time with me. I always love spending this time with all of you. Thank you all so much, and I'll see you next time. If I didn't get to you, I'm very sorry, but I do hope to see you soon, and I know I will. I'll see you very next time. All right, bye-bye, everyone.
Explain to them why I used to beat them, and I'm woman enough to say that it was because of what I was dealing with myself. Once I learned and I took accountability, it was a game changer. Listening to my daughter that day talk to me and tell me, as a young girl, how I was making her feel by beating her. And I'm thinking that I'm helping her, I'm saving her. And the whole time I was hurting my baby. Now